Okay. Hello FPL managers, good afternoon. We are back for a Scout Cast match day and I am joined by two very, very good mates. Ted, how are you doing first of all?
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really good. Gutted my Gianni captain hasn't paid off this week, but it is what it is. We'll move on. I'm sure there's a lot of Kane captains in the room for this match, so best of luck to you all.
Yeah, I'm guessing there is. And fair play on the Diagne call. We'll get to that a bit later. Rich, how are you doing, mate? You've just had a nice little result in the Leicester game with your Vardy captain.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it for big parts of that game, but yeah, the end result, Vardy captain, I'm delighted. But do you know what? Ted's captain was like when I saw he posted that on Twitter, that I've been looking forward to that more than anything else this week. But I was genuinely gutted because if you get a player like that, Haaland, like you'll never forget that. You'll have a poster of him.
I would buy a shirt with his name on the back. 0.6% owned he was, so it would have really done my rank a lot of good.
That's the stuff that gets you, like, yeah, it gives you some rank rise, but it also gives you about 10% extra Twitter followers off that.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw, you'll get a spike, right, Ted?
Maybe I should just do that from now on. Just give up on being good at FPL. Just pick some random player every week.
Yeah, and I can't believe, considering we're all sort of fairly vocal on Twitter, we're in the community, we all sort of create content. None of us have John Stones. We must be the only three people that we sort of just chat with on a daily basis that didn't own Stones. So yeah, fair play to you guys. Well done for going outside the box and not owning Stones. Did you both have Cancelo?
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh god, we're literally the same manager, aren't we?
We like the exciting picks, I think, and Diagne. No.
Yeah, Stones is surprisingly highly owned, isn't he? Over 50% in the entire game. It's absolutely mental.
Yeah, that hurt when he scored. Although because Cancelo got the assist and I could see it was him taking the free kick, I still kind of celebrated the goal.
I saw it pop on my phone, like Stones had scored, and I was like, no! And then I clicked on it and it said Cancelo assist, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
This is what I had the other week. So when KDB got the assist for Diaz, I know it's not Stones, but you know, you get your players setting up their goals for the centre backs. It kind of taints it a bit, but it's still fun to get the assist, I guess. And Cancelo did very well, just not as well as Stones.
Yeah, it was nice to hear him, see him. Sort of playing so advanced again, and on free kicks that was nice. Guys in the chat, let us know you've captained. You'll notice that when I introduced Ted and Rich, we instantly went on to captaincy chat because more than ever it seems that captaincy is so important. And if you're having a bad season, you can usually point it to, I've been bad with my captaincy this year. So in the chat, let us know who you're captain. I guess loads of you are on Harry Kane. I'm just looking at the effective ownership of Kane and Son. Kane in the top 10k has got 112% effective ownership. Son at 76%. So these guys are pretty popular this game week. T. Hemming, don't be saying Kane injured in the warm-up in the chat. Come on, I don't want to mute anyone. Kane is not injured in the warm-up. He starts. So very, very excited to see the front four, which is Lucas kind of playing in the number 10 role, if you like. Bale right, Son left, Kane up top. Ted, how's that working for you from someone watching Spurs? Have you considered jumping on Bale? Do you own Bale, or are you on Son and Kane, or just Kane?
So I am on Son and Kane at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm badly invested in Eric Dyer a few weeks ago, so he's been a terrible pick.
Yeah.
But I'm looking to sort it out for 29 with a big. It might be even a -12 for 29. So I know it sounds a bit.
You're
reckless.
not playing. Yeah, you're just trying to get 11 men out, are you? Or
so I think I have 7 guys playing, but that includes. No, I think I've got 8, or includes Dyer or something like that. Anyway, I'm just going for the sort of philosophy that a -4 is only a -2 if you've got someone with the 2 appearance points. But I'm also using it with a sort of killing 2 birds with 1 stone sort of thing, but getting rid of a couple of City assets that blank in 29 and then blank in 33.
yeah.
So anyway, you're asking about Son and Kane and Bale. I mean, it's an incredible trio. The last 4 games, I mean, Bale's come in, played the last 4. We have seen a noticeable improvement in Spurs attack since he came in. I think the numbers were 1.28 XG per 90 when Spurs were without Bale for the rest of the season. And in the last 4, that's improved to 1.87 XG per 90, which is second among all teams. And I agree, like there are the fixture difficulty has played a part in that. They've played West Ham, Burnley, Fulham and Palace in the last 4. So that clearly has enhanced it. But you can't doubt that Bale hasn't had an impact with 6 attacking returns to his name in the last 4. So, yeah, I think it really does bolster that Spurs front line, doesn't it? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, all eyes are definitely going to be on that Spurs front line in this fixture. From an FPL perspective, there's a few with Reguilon. I've got Hugo Lloris. But outside of the sort of front 3 and the 1 or 2 at the back, there's not really a huge amount of FPL interest in sort of in the midfield or the rest of the defence. And then again, if we look at Arsenal, in terms of FPL interest, no Aubameyang today, left out for disciplinary reasons. Rich, are you on Saka? I can't remember if you own him. I'm looking to buy Saka for next week, so I'm keen to watch him.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I know he's your boy because, I mean, I was on one of these and you were talking him up on here and on the FPL show.
And then he banged and I didn't get him.
Yeah, no, he did. And he should have against Burnley last week as well. So I'm happy with Saka. Obviously, I'm happy he's playing today. Lacazette's probably a step too far. It just depends what these disciplinary issues are because I always like Lacazette when he plays and when he gets the minutes. I mean, he was quite popular, wasn't he, on the free hit a few months ago?
Yeah, Gameweek 18. Yeah.
Gameweek 18, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Looking at Arsenal Spurs, they're about to kick off, so we'll go through quickly our predictions. Just before I come to you, Ted, for a prediction, Matt in the chat, Ricardo Pereira is my worst ever transfer. Matt, I feel you. 4 weeks ago, I was looking at Pereira, Shaw, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Guess which one I went for? Pereira and his 1 point every single game. By the way, Rich, he owns him too, so we both feel your pain.
Yeah, he's gone this week. I mean, that's the easiest transfer out you're ever going to have. Blank and then City, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Same for me, very likely. So predictions for today. Arsenal, the home team, Ted. Can you see him getting anything? What scoreline are you going for?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because they haven't won. I think Spurs can make history by winning 3 times in a row against Arsenal, which is crazy. I found the stats interesting. Like only Everton versus Liverpool has finished a draw more times than Arsenal versus Tottenham, which is a crazy stat ever. So if we go by that means, a draw is probably on the cards. And I think this fixture really encourages goals. So I think if we're going by like historical means, it seems like lots of goals and it might be a draw. So I'm going to go maybe like a 2-2 or something like that.
That would be good for our watch-along. 2-2 would be decent. Rich, what do you reckon?
I was thinking of going down the Lawrenson route and going for a 1-0, but I'm going to go 1-0. I think it's going to be low scoring. So I think 1-0 Kane. That'll be my boring prediction. I hope there's more goals than that, though.
Could we see Mourinho getting back to the 1-0 vibes? Because he used to do it all the time. At Chelsea, it was his thing. And at United, he did it quite a lot as well. But at Spurs, he's just not been able to get those 1-0ers in because I don't think the defence has been great and he doesn't really trust them. Even against Palace the other week when they scored 4, was it 4? Palace still got that Benteke header. So I think I'm going to go with you, Rick. I'm going to go that Spurs finally get the clean sheet, which helps me for Hugo Lloris, and I'm gonna say they're gonna get 2 or 3. I'm gonna go 2-0 Spurs. Yeah, 2-0 Spurs, and of course when Spurs score, Kane is involved, right? So I don't know if he'll get the goals. If not, he'll get the assist. But surely, the spread of points in that Spurs team, Ted, if they score, you just know it's Bale, Son, or Kane, right?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, Ndombele's come back in for Harry Winks, so I think he does have a chance. He's such a gifted footballer. You never know if he gets forward. Lucas Moura gets on the score sheet as well, but yeah, Bale, Son, and Kane. Harry Kane is the top scorer in history for this fixture, 11 goals. So it really does look likely that he gets on the score sheet here, and he's in red hot form as well, isn't he? So. Yeah, very likely. I just think it's interesting with Arsenal that clearly Spurs are favourites here because of their form. But I really think that Arsenal will get revved up for this occasion. I know there's no fans in the stadium and everything, and that does make a difference. But surely they get pumped up regardless and get a result here. I really think so. Like another one is Lacazette is on 9 for the season. if he gets 10, he'll become like the 5th player in Arsenal's history to get to double digits, 4th season consecutively. And like only Ian Wright, Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, and Olivier Giroud is the other one. The other people have done it. So I don't know whether he knows about that or whether he cares about the history making, but certainly an incentive to get on the score sheet today.
Yeah, I love Olivier Giroud. Forget that he was at Arsenal for so long. Obviously a big fan of him at Chelsea. Guys, just watching. I'm on 1:45, 46, 47. Interested to know what timestamps you're on, because guys, we are going to be bringing you any chance that we get, reporting on that as we see it. So Ted, what timestamp are you on?
I think you're 3 seconds ahead of me.
Get in, come on.
I'm actually, for once, I'm ahead. I'm on 232, 233.
Oh, you're winning. That is decent. Okay, so you're watching it probably. You're ahead of the chat even. So let us know when anything happens, Rich. We'll all be giving you updates on it. We were just chatting briefly about kind of the fixture, Rich, in terms of both these teams. Why I think Spurs could edge it today is Arsenal coming back from Greece on Thursday night. Spurs had a home fixture. They rest quite a few players. Arsenal not so many, and had to fly from Greece, I think, for the second week out of 3, or maybe second week on the bounce. And I just wonder if they'll be a little bit jaded. Does that give Spurs the advantage? They've historically had a better record this season than Arsenal off the back of Europa League games.
Probably does, especially without Aubameyang playing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, although saying that Arsenal have got a free kick, it's quite far out, to be fair. Just outside the area.
Is it a shooting position?
It is a shooting position, but it's on the borderline of it. I think he's going to cross it in. That would make sense. Yeah, and he has crossed it in, and it's just bounced out. I think David Luiz has got it on the edge of the box. So I don't know how far ahead of you I am now.
Yeah, no, I've not seen the free kick yet, but I can see Odegaard is over it. Odegaard, who scored from 35 yards against Olympiacos. What a bullet that was.
Yeah, that free kick's come to absolutely nothing. But yeah, I mean, I do think Spurs have got, I think, several advantages. The only thing they don't have is home advantage, but does that even matter anymore? Doesn't seem to.
Yeah, it doesn't, does it, Ted, really? I mean, if we look at the numbers, the away wins this season outbeating the home wins.
I mean, it's a crazy stat here. Arsenal have lost just 2 of their last 35 home matches against Spurs.
Wow.
That's a crazy stat, isn't it? But can that change with, obviously in the history we've seen like Arsenal be an unbeatable side in the 2003 season. So I mean, there has been fluctuations in the team form over the different seasons, but Arsenal seem to be struggling a little bit this season. Spurs seem to be doing a little bit better. So yeah, I can see Spurs winning this, but I think it's going to be an interesting affair. Like you were saying about the Europa League and stuff like that, and they have rested quite a few people, both teams. I think Spurs, like looking, if you want a defender for 29, for instance, it seems like Doherty has nailed down that place at right back.
Yeah.
And we've got Reguilon at left back, because Ben Davies and Aurier played in the Europa League, didn't they?
So they might be their Europa League fullbacks, and you might do. Pochettino used to do that, because Ben Davies seems to be playing a lot in the Europa League. It's a bit like Lamela; he'll play in the Europa and then Bale will play in the Prem.
Yeah,
it's risky players like that for a blank, because you just want them to start, don't you? At least get your base 2 points. Well, hopefully. I don't know, because Reguilon was one I was considering, but it just seems like such a risk. Same with maybe Aubameyang now.
Rich, looks like Arsenal are on the attack here. Don't know if you've seen much.
Luis has just kicked it out for a throw-in.
Okay, yeah, all good. I mean, it has been Arsenal, wasn't it? I mean,
I'm assuming from what you've just said, then there might be something about to happen.
No, I'm not. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I mean, it has been old Arsenal though.
Yeah, it has.
And Spurs haven't really got out of the out their own half.
I mean, they've not got out their own half much. What's happening here? No.
Yeah, still 0-0. Luis is. I mean, I'm really hoping for that Luis clean sheet. I mean, Ted, we've had a question in the chat. James Morgan, does Ted still have Dyer? Lol, he's taking a mick here. I mean, so I had Dyer until my wildcard, which I wildcarded a few weeks ago. and got him out. But yeah, Jose doesn't seem to be a big fan, does he? He's going with Sanchez, who he fell out of favour with earlier in the season, and Alderweireld, who you'd expect to be in there. But Dyer's not playing in the big games, not playing in the Premier League at the moment, is he?
No, it's a terrible transfer, and I was lured in by the fact that he played in 25 ahead of the double in 26, in which he was benched in both games. So I was a bit done there by Mourinho, and that definitely contradicts. Like, Mourinho is not in favour, but definitely contradicts what was said in the Spurs documentary on Amazon Prime. Is it? Because like Mourinho was going, "Oh, I really like you as a player, Dyer." I know it's a couple of seasons ago now. Maybe it was just last season. But yeah, he seems to have fallen out of favour now, Dyer. And, originally he wasn't a centre-back. And Alderweireld and Sanchez are more the classical centre-back. So I can understand the move. I just haven't had the chance to transfer him out yet. But this is the week, what I will do. I will probably move to Reguilon. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the gamble on Reguilon. Especially
if you see Ben Davies starting again in the Europa League, you'll be like, okay, well, I know again Reguilon's been rotated and therefore back for the Premier League. He's definitely first choice, but Jose does seem to want to give Ben Davies minutes. It's just coming in the Europa, which is quite nice.
Yeah, exactly.
The guys that aren't getting a rest though, Harry Kane. I mean, I know I think he got the hat trick, didn't he? Or was it a brace in the week? But Rich, I don't know if you watched the game, but 82nd minute. Kane was still on the pitch and took the knock to the knee, and then he was hobbling off, and we saw the ice pack pictures on the bench. And I just thought, geez, come on, Jose, you're resting Son. He came off after the hour. Bale didn't start. You're still cracking the whip with Kane. And I know Kane wants to play every minute of every game, but sometimes you just got to manage these minutes. Surely, when they're winning, the tie was pretty much over, and he's still got Kane running through treacle in the 80th minute.
I wonder if that's part of the reason why Kane's under 100% effective ownership.
It was the flag, wasn't it? The flag did it.
It even spooked me with my vice-captain. I put the vice-captain on Son instead of Kane because, like you mentioned, Son got subbed off early. He didn't have an ice pack, attached to his limb.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I reckon that did put a few people off because you see that flag, and even though you're pretty sure he plays in the North London derby,
yeah,
I don't know, you just don't want to be making risks like that.
It's a tough one because they have to flag him because Mourinho had said, he took a knock and we saw the ice pack. But everyone knew, like anyone that's watched Spurs and watched football in the last few years knows that Kane is playing that unless he's got a severe injury like he's playing. We saw him walking after the game. If Kane can walk on Thursday night, he can run on Sunday. That's just what Harry Kane does.
Exactly.
He clearly has so much influence in that dressing room that he could just tell Mourinho when he wants to play and doesn't want to play. And more often than not, he's going to just say, I want to play. Yeah. Even if his leg's hanging off, he's going to be like, yeah, I want to play. So, yeah, it's uncanny how many games he actually plays. Is there a more nailed-on player in the Premier League? That's the question.
Yeah, probably not. And I don't think there's a more nailed 90-minute man either, because some forwards or even talisman, you can think, in some games they could be at risk of getting subbed off early, or if you're winning the game, they come off to be rested, or if you're losing the game, they come off to put a fresh striker on. Not Kane. 90 minutes every single week. And Poch used to do the same. I remember some of the Europa League games under Pochettino when they would go Thursday night to Eastern Europe, and it'd be like, we're not resting Kane, even if the tie's won. What did you see, Rich?
This is all Arsenal here. All Arsenal. I think it's Saka. Yeah, I mean, he gets beaten to the ball. He's never going to have a chance there. But, yeah, it's just all Arsenal in this opening, 10 minutes?
Yeah, and he's playing that youthful three behind Lacazette, who have been getting a lot of minutes. He's playing Smith Rowe wide left, Saka wide right, and then Odegaard in the 10 role. And he likes those three, and those three are getting more minutes than Willian, than Pepe. And it's an interesting one because Saka gets so much love, and rightly so, but can't really underestimate the influence Smith Rowe's had since he came on the scene a few months back, getting in that 11, Ted. He's been useful. And on FPL, is he like 4.4 or something? It's ridiculous value.
100%, definitely rate the guy. The only difference between him and Saka is he's more rotation prone, and that's the big one, isn't it? It's funny you guys were mentioning you wanted to target Saka for next week. I am doing exactly the same. He's going to probably be my Gundogan replacement.
Yeah.
We're basically the same manager, guys. It's crazy. So, yeah, I mean, Saka, didn't he miss a game Not last week, the previous week. I think just from a minor injury. But other than that, he's been ever present in this Arsenal side, and he went through a purple patch of form where he started scoring and assisting. That has died off a little bit recently, but if he can get a run of games again together, so I reckon he can start firing. I reckon he's a good one for 29.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers obviously aren't as good as someone like Aubameyang's, but they're not far behind. And when you look at it and go, he's half the price. And
price difference, yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And then you look at where he's playing, and obviously we know Saka is someone that played left back at times last season. He's played left of a 3. He's now playing right of a 3 and has been for the last few months. That position is nailed because, yes, Willian or Pepe could come in there, but they don't look like they're going to be regular starters. Yet on the left, if he does go Lacazette down the middle, Aubameyang shifts to the left of the 3 and therefore Smith Rowe could drop out. So you think Saka's, whatever 3 he goes with, Saka will be shoehorned in. I think he's Arteta's go-to in that front 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he can even play, wing back. He's very versatile, isn't he? So at least he'll be on the pitch. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be moved out the front 3, but if he is, he can play other positions. So
I think he's going to go to the. I think he's definitely going to the Euros. But I honestly think there's a good chance he goes to the Euros as a left wing back. And I think I could see Southgate even starting him there. I mean, Shaw is, of course, the form left back in the country at the moment. Yeah. Shaw, who's not been in an England squad for 4 or 5 years, I think, maybe 2 or 3. Chilwell, of course, isn't nailed for Chelsea and isn't in great form. It's going to be really interesting to see what the England squad looks like for the friendlies coming up in the next few weeks and where Saka fits in, because previously he's been called up as a left back. So I'd be really excited about him playing left back or left wing back, because Southgate will go with the back 3. So yeah, I think Saka could have a really big summer. Still no big chances. We're 13 minutes in. Still 0-0. Arsenal looking the brighter. Odegaard's made a couple of nice passes. He's the new Norway captain, Rich. Odegaard.
Is he? Well, yeah, I didn't even know what price he is in FPL, actually.
I think he's sick. Did he come in at 6 million? Off the top, I don't know. I need to check that.
I think it might even be more.
Was he?
I'm making this up.
I mean, he's obviously listed as a midfielder, and rightly so.
Oh no, you're right. 5.9. So he must have started at 6.
Started at 6, yeah.
I must admit, he's not been one I've considered because of Saka, and then obviously because of Aubameyang as well. Like if I wanted to go for the more premium. Even Tierney was one I was looking at, but we mentioned that blank game week in 18 where a lot was free hitted, and he stung a lot of people there. He's quite injury prone, Tierney. Yeah, he just randomly was injured for the game. What's happened here with Lloris? No, it's not a handball, is it?
I'm looking at Tierney for the future. I don't know whether he's worth doing it for 29 because they're playing West Ham, and I think I fancy West Ham to score, but maybe the future. I think game week, is it 30 or 31? They have a couple of runner games with Sheffield United and Fulham.
Okay.
And I'm looking to bring it. But the issue is Arsenal are the only team in the league not to keep a clean sheet in the last 6 matches. So it just doesn't ring really positively for their defensive potential. So yeah, it's a tricky one. I think maybe I'll just go Saka for 29 and leave Tierney for now. But I really do like Tierney. He's such a good crosser of the ball, and he really does pepper the box. So
he is sick note though, isn't he?
Someone's hit the post, I think.
Oh, for Arsenal or Spurs?
For Arsenal. My iPad's quite far away, so it could be my eyesight. I'm pretty sure that hit the post.
Oh, it has been all Arsenal. So
it's Smith Rowe, I think.
I'm just seeing it now. We got Alderweireld playing it out from the back. A couple of
Smith Rowe off the bar. Sorry.
Oh, off the bar. It has been all Arsenal.
Oh yeah.
He hits it clean, doesn't he? Lloris doesn't get a touch. It's going top bins, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, there's a chance Lloris had that covered if it was any lower, but no, great shot.
But it's a defensive slip up once again, isn't it? Which is unlike Spurs, to be honest. They lose possession at the edge of their box, and it comes to Smith Rowe, and he takes a great shot.
4.2 million, actually. So he must have dropped recently.
I guarantee Martin Tyler has said the Croydon De Bruyne at some point. In fact, I'm going to tweet that now.
Just in case he hasn't mentioned it.
Yeah. What were we discussing before that? I can't remember what we were on. I think
it was Tierney, I think.
Oh, that was it. Tierney, yeah. My point on Tierney, Ted, was because of his injury record, he doesn't play twice in a row that often in terms of Europa. He doesn't play twice in a week much. And I wonder if Arteta's going to prioritise the Europa. It'll be interesting. If they lose today, you look at the league table and go, Arsenal's only route to top 4 is winning the Europa League. And will he prioritise that? Unlike Spurs, who perhaps won't. I don't know. Does that concern you?
Son's down.
Oh.
I don't know if it's just cramp.
Not good.
No, I think it is cramp. Sorry.
With Tierney, he did play in the Europa League, and he's played. I think this is his last. He's played the 4th. This is his 4th consecutive Premier League 90 minutes, hopefully, and he did play in the Europa League. So it does make me think Arteta wants to give him some minutes. And you are right, he is injury prone, and he was getting into a bit of form game week 15 to game week 17 before he had that injury setback, which set him out for maybe 7 or 8 weeks. So you're right, he is injury prone, but I think maybe get on him when he's in form, and that could reap dividends. So yeah, one to monitor for sure.
I'm not sure if this is actually Son's hamstring or cramp. He sent Dele Alli to warm up.
Ooh, interesting.
Son's still down.
He came off at 60 minutes in the Europa League the other night, and he didn't look injured. But I did think for Mourinho that was quite early, knowing he kept Kane on.
Oh no, it looks like hamstring because he's taken a sprint.
Yeah.
And he's just pulled up.
Yeah, non-contact, isn't it?
Non-contact, and he grabs it straight away, doesn't he? It's his left.
He is walking off the pitch now, but as in
to come back on,
not being supported. But then again, is it Lamela, number 11?
Dele.
Okay, so it might be Dele coming on then, because it looks like Lamela.
No, it is Lamela who's number 11 though, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think Lamela might be coming on.
Okay, interesting. I mean, Son looks at the bench, but he doesn't do anything like that, and he is walking off unaided. But Rich, when you see someone stripped off, let us know, because you'd.
Yeah, Son's gone off. Son's down the tunnel.
Wow, loads of Son captainers out there. Loads of Son captainers.
Like I said, he was my vice. Yeah, it's Lamela who's come on. Lamela's come on.
That doesn't look good for game week 29. If that is his hamstring, which we can pretty much confirm it was, very, very rare that you're back the week after on a hamstring. That's 2-3 weeks minimum, as far as I'm aware. I mean, check out Fantasy Football Scout's Twitter for all the updates on injury news throughout the week. But I'd be surprised if he starts in 29 now.
Yeah, and with Aubameyang not playing today as well, I think Bale's just going to rocket in price and ownership, isn't he?
He is. That
He
minus
really
12
is.
just turned into a minus 16.
Oh no, Ted.
Oh, wow. Also interesting, last few weeks, I know we've looked at Bale and Kane and gone, these are all the goal scorers, and they were. But Son's been actually really creative in the last 4 to 6 weeks. So how does Son going off influence Kane's points in this match? Well, let's see. But, he has been a creative force in that Spurs team.
100%. Yeah, I mean, Bale... Is he that creative? He tends to shoot more often than create chances for his teammates. So, really good point. And Ndombele's going to have to step up, maybe play a bit more of an advanced role.
And Bale doesn't play 90 minutes either.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although maybe we'll see finally Bale playing 90, knowing he played 30 in the week. I doubt it. But
will Spurs be as good without Son? Maybe we can start looking at alternative captains like Lookman.
Hey, love that. We'll get to the Diagnon chat in a bit as well. I'm sorry, Ted. Does Spurs play the Europa League this week? It is. Both legs are within a week, right? I'm right in thinking that Spurs' second leg is this week. Let's have a look, because
second game's this week.
So if Bale is rested in that game, which he might not be now, Son is out injured, then we'll all be jumping on Bale. If Bale starts, then I'm not sure I'll go there. For the Premier League.
Actually. Yeah, because they play on, like you said, they play on Thursday.
And then Villa's on the Sunday, isn't it?
Then Villa's on the 21st, so yeah, the Sunday.
See, if Bale starts in the week, I'm not sure I'll have the minerals to bring him in. And I certainly won't bring him in until Thursday, despite price rises. So do watch out for that, guys.
You got the minerals for Aubameyang instead.
I still prefer Saka long term, because Aubameyang is someone I'd buy because I'd have the money. But I know I'd want to sell him in a few weeks because I need the money. Saka... He can sit on my bench if he needs to, or stay in my team for the whole season. Right? I want Saka between now and 38.
This is the problem. We've almost got too much money at the moment. I could build a team with 5 midfielders, all under like 6 million easily.
Yeah, but you know what this means, Rich? We can all buy De Bruyne in 2 weeks' time.
I've already got De Bruyne.
Oh, of course. Okay. Me and Ted can buy him.
I've already got him, mate.
You're kidding? Oh, I'm on Gundogan and Foden.
See, we've all got the same team, pretty much. Just give or take one or two players.
I've got Foden. You boys have got De Bruyne. Speaking of City, then, okay, what are we all doing with Gundogan?
He's going out for Saka.
Doesn't play in 33, so yeah, you're pretty fixed on that, Ted.
Pretty fixed. We've seen a noticeable drop in his numbers over the last few weeks. So, the team dynamic has changed a little bit since De Bruyne has come back. They're not playing as regularly as much as they did with like a false nine, although they did not against Fulham the previous match. So when they play with a false nine, I think Gundogan becomes a better option because he typically gets in the box a little bit more. But while they're not, I don't think he's as good as an option. He's very highly owned still, which is a bit of a difficult one. But you could reap the dividends if he starts regressing a little bit and people are slow to get off. So I'm quite happy bringing in Saka when City have a couple of blanks coming up. And it's not going to punish me too much in the next 5 games. So, yeah. Who are you bringing in? Are you going to transfer out Gundogan, Rich, or are you going to keep him?
I transferred out Gundogan this week. I transferred him out, yeah. I had 2 free transfers and I had to use one. I didn't think Gundogan would play, and like you've just mentioned, his stats haven't been as good recently. And I thought KDB would play, so yeah, I've already removed him, and it didn't pay me that much to do it.
No, yeah, even with that ownership. Oh, shot from distance from a party, but yeah, well wide. I knew he'd be benched. We all did, didn't we? We all knew he'd be benched, but didn't want to. Many of us didn't want to sell him. So I put Target on my bench this week, who of course was home to Aston Villa. Like if ever there was a game to play Target, that was it. But because I was like, no, I'm going to start Gundogan, and he'll probably come on. And yeah, Target of course came on, and really nearly hauled. He was on 12 points with 5 minutes to go, and then the goal was taken off him. The clean sheet was wiped out, so the goal was taken off Watkins. The assist was taken off. The bonus dropped from 3 to 2. And I owned Watkins, and I was like, no, the double up here was going to be massive. And this is all from a guy that doesn't own John Stones. I needed that. Oh, and I own Ricardo Pereira. I mean, it's all like, I'm typical FPL manager here, moaning about how unlucky I've been. Like every FPL manager thinks they're the luckiest ever, right?
I'm sure there's a lot of people in the same boat. Like I had Konza and Martinez in that game, and I was rocking back and forwards in the 93rd minute going, come on, clear it. And poor old, who was it? Nathan Bacon. Oh, his reaction was absolutely fantastic. Just absolutely. He had Martinez captain.
Did you? So did you have Konza 2 weeks ago when he missed those 2 big chances as well, Ted?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That was really unlucky. Like they were both big chances.
Like I really rate Konza. I think he could get in the England side.
We've discussed that. I think Villa fans will tell you he's their best centre back.
Yeah. I mean, Mings is a decent centre back. But Courtney Hawes was the other guy, wasn't he? Yeah. So, but he's been injured for a while. But Konza hasn't done anything wrong to be outed from that centre, and it really does show, doesn't it? Villa have been exceptional. Yeah. I mean, they're the top overperformers in the league for defensive ability, and a lot of that goes down to Martinez, of course. But,
Rich's boy.
Yeah. oh, sorry. I thought Lacazette had scored then, but it went for a throw-in.
What, a shot did?
Yeah.
Oh, I love a shot that goes out for a throw-in. You can't beat it. If anyone has shanked a shot for a throw-in, you know that feeling.
Oh, it might have taken a deflection, actually, looking at it on the slow motion.
I mean, sometimes you get the shots that go out for a throw-in and they're hit from the angle, so it's not too far wide. But when you're front and centre and it goes out, oh no, that was a shot. I don't think that's actually gone behind him, Lacazette.
Well, it's Smith Rowe as well, isn't he? He's bombing up that left flank, and he's just taken. Who was it? Højbjerg to the cleaners.
Oh, was it
Højbjerg? Past him. Yeah, they've really done well to cut it back to Lacazette.
And Lacazette shot.
Poor finish.
He kicks the post in anger, but it goes out sort of level with the 18-yard box. The ball. And he shot it from inside the area, so that's quite a feat. Smith Rowe is looking lively, isn't he?
He is. Saka as well. Like both of them looking. I mean, Arsenal look the better side here completely. I mean, it's not even been close. So it probably will still be a Spurs 1-0 win. You know how these games go. But
yeah, Mourinho sit back and then we'll hit him on the counter. Although counter without Son isn't the same level of counter, is it?
No, it's really not. I mean, it affects Kane as well. It affects Kane. It affects Bale. It's a pretty big injury, that one. Not just because we lose him from our FPL teams, but I mean, it's been quite a brutal game week, and I guess that Villa game summed it up early, didn't it? I was also on Conser and Martinez double up. The only good I took from that is we were very lucky as Villa defensive owners against Wolves when Sainz missed that chance. So if we try and think it evens out.
Very, very positive outlet there, Rich. Well played. I don't own Martinez, so I was actually fairly happy.
God. Well, yeah. If you've only got Target, you probably wanted them to concede.
I did, and I didn't watch the game because I was so nervous. So I was there on my phone, just kept refreshing the screen, going, "Oh!" When I saw the first tweet from FPL saying that it was a Watkins goal with target assist, I was absolutely flying because I was thinking this means Martinez won't get the bonus because at 0-0 I was thinking this has got Martinez 3 bonus written on it all day long. Guys in the chat, James is free hitting next week. MC Moy says this game week has been awful. It has been so far, but we still got Bruno later. We've still got Kane to come up big, hopefully, in this game. Next week's getting bigger for free hitters. I'm not sure, Gio boys. None of us are free hitting next week. Any of you guys got your free hit? Because I've got mine, and I'm not interested.
No, I haven't got any chips left.
Neither have I. No, it's all gone.
You wouldn't want it anyway, mate. Honestly, guys, I can't see the love for free hit next week. I tried creating I created a free hit team. I posted it on Twitter a few weeks back, and I looked at it and went, don't like that team, and that's my free hit creation. Like, there are just no easy fixtures to predict next week. The ceiling is low. You can cover all the main players anyway. Although saying that, maybe with Son out, that changes things a little bit. But...
and I guess Bamford as well. I mean, Bamford, it looked like just a dead leg probably, but dead legs can linger for worst case scenario, dead legs can be a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and that was a bad dead leg. I mean, he tried running it off, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He didn't look. I mean, he couldn't run. He looked like a large wrestler trying to run from the. That's the impression it gave me anyway. He didn't look. He didn't have freedom of movement
against his old club as well.
Yeah.
It's terrible luck, isn't it? 29 is really shaping up to be a bit of a rubbish affair, isn't it?
I mean, he's not scoring against Chelsea anyway. Chelsea look really good defensively. Not so much going forward, but...
Guys, if anyone in the chat is watching with audio on Sky Sports, as well as, of course, listening to us, let me know if Martin Tyler has said the Croydon De Bruyne, because I'm sure he must have done. I really want to know. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we have had a bit of chat about Diagno, which I can only think those in the chat are very aware of Ted's decision this week, which was bold, but actually on paper, I think it was a really sensible shout. Predicting captaincy this week, time will tell if it was the right week to go for a differential. But you look at Bruno's fixture and Salah's fixture and Kane's fixtures, none of them are gimmies. So, Ted, you thought outside the box.
Yeah, I thought it was a good week to do it. As you say, all of the big hitters had sort of tricky fixtures. And Gianni, like all of the numbers were pointing to a haul against Palace, apart from number of attacking returns for him in the last 6. He only had 1 in the last 6. So, I mean, that probably has to be taken into account in the future. Like speaking about retrospectively about my mistakes, I think even though it makes sense to do something, we probably need to have a bit of form on the cards before anything is sort of kick-started. So yeah, Palace were like top for number of set pieces or attempts from set pieces conceded, headed attempts, which Gianni was top for in the last 6 with 10. So all the numbers were pointing there. He was second in the entire league of every single player for XGI behind Harry Kane.
Yeah. And
he was up against Palace, who were worst for conceding chances. So it made sense, but watching the game was horrifically painful. It was just so dull. I mean,
that's the game that we probably all took off. I'm guessing everyone in the chat took off as well. I often earmark one fixture a week where I go, I have zero interest in watching it. That was the one for me.
But you know what? Because Ted had done that captain, I did watch the start, but then the Reading game was on. So unfortunately,
you went and watched some proper football.
Yeah, basically.
Didn't want to see it. Big Sam against his old club as well, Ted. That must have been a little bit of extra thinking for you.
I didn't actually think of that at all. I was too swayed by the numbers, or the numbers I was thinking of anyway. So, I mean, I don't regret the decision. I think it made sense to me on paper. So,
Yeah.
I mean, when we make these moves, I think if you regret it and you think how stupid you were, then that's probably something reasonable to forget. But I think if you can back it up with logical reasoning, then there's no reason why you can't go for those sorts of moves again in the future.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you there, and I'm really hoping. I don't know who the popular picks are this week, but other than Kane and Bruno and Salah, the usual suspects. Does anyone know who was the most popular pick? Was it Kane?
Yeah, I think it was Fernandes.
It was Bruno. The United bonus often plays a part, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's a tough game for Man United. West Ham have been really good defensively. I think it can be a cagey affair tonight. So,
goal, Lamela.
Oh, Lamela.
I don't know who got the assist.
It's Lucas. I've just seen Lucas pass the ball to Lamela. Oh no, now I'm seeing Højbjerg with it, so maybe not.
They were bouncing it around the box for a while there.
We're miles behind.
Lamela. So I'm used to being miles behind myself. So.
Wow, we were ahead of the chat there though, Rich. So I love that.
Wow, sorry, I didn't want to spoil it for the chat either.
No, we've got Bale with an in-swinger. Oh, Reguilon with a cushion down. Reguilon to Bale. Oh wow, it's Lucas with the assist, and he's done a what's it called? A Rabona.
It's a wonderful finish, isn't it?
Oh,
He's got form for that. He did a Rabona in the Europa League 3 years ago from the edge of the box.
I missed that on first watch. Nice.
He's Rabona'd it.
It's an absolutely incredible finish.
Oh,
You just know a
wow.
footballer is proud of himself when he runs away going...
Oh, and it's a Lucas assist, guys. So no FPL
Jake
interest there.
Hawkins made me sad in the chat. He said should have been Son. And then
I think that's goal of the season.
Show me that.
Oh, he's
Show me that
nutmegged.
again.
It's a nutmeg on Thomas as well. Oh my God, he is nutmeg Thomas. That is a Rabona of the highest quality. I think that's goal of the season so far. Lamela to the far stick. Nutmegs Thomas en route. That is quality.
I might set that to my screensaver from now on. That's beautiful.
Is that the best goal you boys have seen this season?
I mean, just from sheer audacity, it's insane. Yeah, I think so. You won't see a goal like that, will you?
No, you really won't. I mean, it's a bit like when you saw the Giroud scorpion kick. You just go, I've never seen a goal like that. And it's like this. You just don't see that technique. But Lamela, YouTube it, guys. 2-3 years ago, Lamela in the Europa League scored from the edge of the box a Rabona just like that, and it actually went top bin. Unbelievable. He has got skills to pay the bills.
There we go. That's our Son replacement then.
Yeah, maybe we bring in Lamela. How much is he? 7 million?
Yeah, it must be. Do you know what? That was so good. It tricked me. On first viewing, I didn't even notice it was Rabona.
So good.
Yeah.
How does he keep it low as well, Rich? Because Rabona's usually a high because you chip them. But somehow he's laced a Rabona along the surface.
Ridiculous. And right in the corner as well. That's unbelievable.
I don't know how you can keep a Rabona down. It makes no sense. The way you hit it, it goes up.
Yeah.
Ted, what do you reckon?
In a game that's lacking so much quality, that is a moment of magnificence. It's just... I mean, Arsenal have been all over this, and I'm surprised they're not ahead. But it is just that lack of quality. Spurs haven't really conjured much, have they? But that was just.
They're starting to now. They actually have the ball now, which is for sustained periods of time, which is the first time in the whole game. Well, they're saying that they've lost the ball in a dangerous position here, and nothing. Well, at least we've got a goal.
I can't believe how good that is. I can't wait to see the replay again. I just want to see the replay. I want to see how it stays so, because he gets power on it too. Oh, so good. Okay, Matt in the chat. Lamela versus Asteras Tripolis for the previous. Yeah, so that was the Europa League game I was talking about. Who are they, Matt? Are they a Cypriot team or something? Asteras Tripolis?
Yeah, it sounds it, doesn't it? I was going to say Greek, but probably Cypriot.
Yeah, because we'd know all the big Greek teams that play in the Europa League, wouldn't we? Or we'd think we would, unless they just had a one-season wonder team in there.
That's true, actually.
I'm going to go Cyprus.
I have to Google
Greece
it.
don't have any two big teams. It's just Olympiacos, isn't it?
Yeah, Olympiacos, Panathinaikos, AK Athens, the three I was thinking.
Right, I've Googled it. Oh, Ted's right.
Oh, is it Greece?
Yeah.
Fair play, Ted.
Yeah.
It's just a sheer guess. I don't have any knowledge of green
Is-
teams.
is-
It was a 50, 50,
Tripolis.
50.
It sounds like I'm Tripolis may have been the airport on my trip to Ayia Napa or something back when I was 18.
Well, there's the Acropolis, isn't there? That's where I was going from.
Oh, nice. Okay, a little bit more cultured than my Ayia Napa trip. Oh, they are from Cyprus, says Matt. So
Oh, Arsenal should have equalised there. Oh, no, now they hit the post. Lacazette, I don't know if it was a dummy or if he just completely missed the ball. And then I think Smith Rowe hits the post. They've still got the ball. I don't know how far ahead of you guys I am here.
I've still not seen it.
I think you're around 20 seconds ahead.
Oh, honestly, I don't know how they've not scored here.
Is Smith
There's
Rowe on the edge
chance
of the
after
box?
Chance after chance. I think Lacazette missed the ball or dummied it.
He completely missed it, and then on the edge of the box, Cedric comes in on the laces, hits the beans.
Yeah, and then there's another chance straight after, which is about to come up.
So it was,
once again, it's Smith Rowe on the left. He's just bombed forward and crossed it in really well, and he's been really threatening.
He's actually quite quick. I didn't really realise how quick he was.
he's quick off the mark, isn't he? That first 10 minutes, he's quick. So 10 metres. Yeah, Cedric that hits the beans on toast.
I didn't even think he played on the left. I thought he was like centre midfield.
He was playing in the Odegaard position, wasn't he, in the number 10 role? And then now Odegaard's come along. I think he's just been moved out there and it's worked.
Switching, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that continues actually, because obviously it's Aubameyang's position. So if Aubameyang comes in, then Smith Rowe is at risk. But on this rate, he looks incredible. I'd get him in my team if I knew he was playing every week.
Yeah, at that price as well. Like, is there a cheaper starter in the game in midfield? I don't think there's even a cheaper starter.
It just gets ridiculous because then you have Smith Rowe, Saka, Lookman, Rafinha. You know, it's really hard to spend the money.
Yeah,
I mean, it's part of one of the reasons I actually had Vardy was just because I had all this money left over. I was like, oh, I'll just get Vardy. He's pretty good.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was doing some research about the team I wanted after Gameweek 29, and you can easily get Kane, De Bruyne, Fernandes, and Salah, and be comfortably. You can have 4 extras that you can rotate, like Antonio, Maja. You've got all of the ones you've just mentioned, the Gundawans, the Rafinhas, the Sakas, and you can comfortably field a decent team with those 4 premiums. Yeah. What's your view on Salah, Rich? Are you interested? Are you going to get back in? Have you got him now?
Yeah, I don't have Salah or Bruno at the moment. I mean, I probably do want them back at some point. Like, I've always got it in the back of my mind that at some point my luck's going to run out and they're going to start scoring again. So yeah, for now I'm comfortable without them, and I might even look at Jota instead of Salah. I might even look at Mane over Salah as well. He's one that I always like, Mane. It's just the penalties that give Salah the edge. I think they're quite equal apart from that, or have been recently anyway.
What about Jota, Rich?
Yeah, Jota's another one, but
half the price almost.
He was part of the reason I was happy selling Salah, because I knew I could get Jota back in like an emergency. If there was such a thing. I don't know if I'd captain Jota though. I think that's the only thing with him.
Is that a Reguilon booking I just saw? I think it's Reggie in the books. There's quite a few Reguilon.
Yeah, he's dived in.
Oh yeah, it's a yellow, isn't it, Ted?
Yeah, it's a strong challenge.
I mean, Lamela could have got booked just before that as well.
Yeah, a bit unnecessary, I think.
This
taking
is quite,
Saka out there.
This is quite a good game.
Lamela's 5.7 million.
Oh.
Sorry, Rich.
So how much?
It's 5.7. If Son is out for a few weeks, and we think it will be Lamela that starts, not Dele, because Dele could have easily come off the bench. Like, we all thought, will it be Lamela? Will it be Dele? But Lamela, after scoring that, you think he's going to be nailed for next week. And Villa haven't looked great at the back.
I've never known value like this. I mean, there's just so many. I remember last season I have to go for Isaac Hayden at 4.4 just because he played. And now we've got all these players like cheaper.
Yeah, and are playing like out of position, some of them, or almost out of position. Like, Smith Rowe, he's a midfielder, but he's so advanced. Like, yeah,
there's a lot of them. I mean, even like Ricardo Pereira, he was playing out of position anyway.
I personally think it's great for the game. Like, if we all just have massively different teams,
agreed.
It's absolutely fantastic, because if everyone has all the key players and you have to adhere to a budget, then everyone sort of has the really decent budget picks and the must-have forwards, and then you're basically differentiating yourself from every other team with just one or two players. And it's great for the game that you can have so many different options, and you can have a bit more fun about it, I think.
Yeah. About 4 or 5 years ago, no, maybe 6 years ago, Lamela came to the league, right? And it was part of the Gareth Bale money.
Yeah.
Spurs bought 6-7 players, and Lamela is the only one still at the club. And in that move, we saw all sorts of players come. I bought him in FPL for game week 1. I was like, I've been watching this guy at Roma. He is amazing. They paid 35 million for him. At the time was massive, the fee. And he had scored something like 18 goals in Serie A that season. So I bought him in, and within about a month, I'd lost 0.5. And every week I was going, he's going to score this week, and I'm going to look really cool because I bought Lamela because I knew he was, and and I just really wanted him because it looked cool. And I wouldn't sell him, and he was just getting 1 point, 2 point, 1 point. But I think he was like 9 million as well. He came with a massive sort of price tag. But now he's down to 5.7. I might have my day again. Who knows? As a 1 week
players like that are the worst. I remember Pulisic. I think he'd cost some of us about 0.7 million last year. He just plummeted. He was quite a cool pick.
Yeah, he was a cool pick.
It's super dangerous, isn't it? If you have outrageous loyalty to a player because you're the person who's originally thinking this is a good guy to buy, and you're stubbornly sticking by him, even though he's not scoring, because you're so loyal to your own pick. It's really dangerous. So
I actually did that with Ben Rama earlier in the season.
Because you watched the Championship, Rich. You were trying to be too cool. Showing everyone you watched the Championship. That's what I was doing with Lamela.
I didn't go for that Soucek guy. I just thought I'm going to go for Ben Rama. He wasn't even playing, and I was still playing him. Because you never know.
But he is such a baller, isn't he? Do you reckon he's one for next season, Rich? Because Ben Rama, once he's settled a little bit, header from Smith Rowe that's, sails wide. But, good play from Arsenal again. Do you reckon Ben Rama's one we can look at? Because he is so good, isn't he?
He is so good. He's so greedy. I don't know if he's a Moyes player. It might just be a case of the wrong club for him. I can't see Moyes appreciating a player like that. I'll probably stay away from him for a while.
They're just replaying this Lamela goal over and over again.
To generate the power, to keep it on the deck, to nutmeg Thomas. It's just a goal of the highest quality.
And it's 1-0.
Oh!
Guess who scored?
Oh, it's Lacazette. No, the Coyne and De Bruyne.
Smith Rowe.
Oh, stop it. Now Martin Tyler's saying it. You can bet your bottom dollar the Coyne and De Bruyne has come out before half time.
Do you want me to not say if there's a goal? Shall I just...
No. You got it. Talk us through it.
This is the only problem with watching it on an iPad.
Tierney
the
on the left.
are so small.
Oh, it's a Tierney assist, I think.
Yeah, he picks up on the penalty spot.
He scuffs it a bit, doesn't he?
Is that Odegaard?
Oh, it's Odegaard.
Oh, is it Odegaard?
Your iPad is small. It's Odegaard.
Yeah. It's not even a full-size iPad.
To be fair, they do look very similar.
They do. And they keep coming up in the same positions.
I apologise to any Smith Rowe owners.
This is why I like Tierney. Just cross.
Fair play, Ted. You did call that.
Oh, I wouldn't say I called it, but just wanted to eye him up because...
Does it take a deflection en route? I think Lloris dives and gets nowhere near it, which makes me think he's a Spurs player.
Yeah, it does. Alderweireld.
I think it's on target though before the deflection.
Yeah, but Lloris saves it. It's going right down the throat.
Yeah, so it's scuffed and hits the defender.
There goes my Lloris clean sheet. Clean sheet wipe out. Come on, Harry Kane. Time to step up.
I think I willed that to be Smith Rowe after we were talking about him so much.
2-2 is still on the cards, chat.
Fair play.
My prediction is gone.
Yeah, mine too.
Yours is as well, yeah.
I went 2-0. Yeah, you went 1-0. Oh, Tierney assist.
It's silly in these matches, isn't it? Because you can look at all the stats you want, but sometimes it's just the passion of the game and the event that maybe drives it.
Or Rabona out of nowhere.
This has been a good game, though.
Yeah. It's been considering we were saying this derby can be dull at times, 1-1 at half time, poised for a cracking second half here.
Yeah, it's been a lot more open than I thought.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah, for a
think,
Mourinho team, it's surprisingly open.
I kind of wanted to predict 0-0. I didn't want to be too negative because we're obviously doing a stream. So I thought I'd predict there was at least a goal.
Yeah, just for the fans.
Yeah.
Nuclear Atoms in the chat. We don't get a chance to answer every question, unfortunately, but this is one I definitely have to because you're pulling on my heartstrings here. What's the best Serie A jersey this season? I would say it is AC Milan. I think you're onto something there. They've had a couple of bad ones in recent years with the really thin stripes, but they're back. Wider stripes, dark colours. It seems to be a little bit darker with more black on the kit. Inter, by the way, are ending their relationship, and it is a relationship, and it's heartbreaking, with Pirelli. Pirelli and Nike, that combination, since I've watched football, has been a thing. Not by next season.
Big move.
Yeah.
While we're talking about jerseys, good question. Like all the away kits this season seem to be super like jazzy, don't you think? Like all the City, all of the big teams, they've got this weird pattern on it. Which ones do you prefer? Which is the best?
I quite like that City white one with all the sort of blue patterns, and then they've got the black and gold one. It's all the second and third jerseys, isn't it?
Yeah, Arsenal's one's a bit strange because it looks like it's a bit of a blood pattern. It's a bit strange.
Oh, is that the murder scene jersey? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is bad. I'm trying to think of a few others. United zebra kit.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
I think that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a few worse ones from the 90s.
Yeah, the goalkeeper jerseys from the 90s are the best.
Yeah, they're so bad that they're good. Whereas I don't see that with the zebra kit.
Yeah, I went to a festival last summer and there was some bloke wearing a Schmeichel green and blue and orange like 90s goalkeeper jersey, and I was like, that is so boss.
It's definitely coming back into fashion, isn't it? Because the Man City one is sort of paisley, isn't it? It's a bit of
that's
paisley
it.
pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but I reckon it's because all of the senior people in all the top jobs were, present in the 80s, weren't they? And they had all of that sort of taste, and all of these fashion scents get recycled, don't they? And you can say that about the same sort of music.
Yeah.
The music industry, everything sounds 80s nowadays. So, it's interesting.
And just fashion in general, right? Look at like jeans or like styles of shirt. It's don't throw your old stuff away. That's what you need to remember. It's because come 20 years time, it will be round back in fashion again.
Comes round with everything, even with like houses. Like we just had to get rid of our electric fire or gas fireplace because it's cool to have the chimney now, isn't it?
Right.
Whereas people were covering those up. So yeah, if you keep stuff long enough, it just becomes cool again.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. It's weird that everyone was covering up chimneys.
Yeah, Rich, you're going to be like in 20 years' time, you're going to be like sitting in your room going, it's going to come back into fashion at some point.
I will be. Everything does, even Gareth Bale. Like people held him long enough.
There's not too many great examples of players going back to clubs and banging. I'm thinking like, do you remember Henry went back to Arsenal and didn't massively show up? But Bale is definitely a great example for where it can work, right?
It took a while though, didn't it? I mean, it took most of the season.
And they are paying him a lot of money. 600 grand a week his wages, of which Real Madrid do pay half, but 600k a week.
And even now, he doesn't have to play 90 minutes when he does play.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I remember when 350k for Rooney was a big deal. I can't believe 600k is fathomable.
I don't know. I don't think anyone else. Maybe Messi and Ronaldo. I guess those two are on more, but I don't even know if Ronaldo's on more than that at Juve. But Messi will be. But yeah, it's ridiculous money.
It tends to be the big Spanish clubs that skew the wages like that, and then I guess that's why Spurs have to pay. What they're paying at the moment, even if it is only half, that's a lot of money.
The Spanish clubs do skew them. You're right, Rich, but only with a few players. The gap they have from their 2 or 3 top earners to the rest of the squad is ridiculous. Same in Italy. Yet in England we see 20 of them, all between 90 and 120 or whatever. It's a little bit more balanced, it seems.
Yeah, and that's probably the players prefer that as well. Because can you imagine playing with someone who's earning like 10 times what you're earning, kind of thing? It must be like really annoying, like especially if they're not playing. Yeah,
especially if they're rubbish and you're flying.
I guess we do get these situations. I can't think of a good example now where
Mason Mount at Chelsea is one of the lowest paid in the squad.
What's he on? Okay, yeah, so he must look at players not even playing on much bigger wages.
Hudson-Odoi and Tammy are on double Mount money ish. And it's like, okay, well, I'm the main man. I even got the armband the other day. You're not even making the squad, and you're on double me,
You had to get Mount in, didn't you?
Of course.
But no, it's
pray
a
for
really
Mount.
Petition
to get Mount more money from Fantasy Football Scout. Guys, we got a half-time chat this week. I just want to turn our attention to those that might want a free hit in Game Week 29. So can we eye our top 3 players for Game Week 29? And we've all got to pick. We're only allowed 1 big name premium. We've all got to pick at least 2 differentials, okay? So Game Week 29. Ted, can I put you under pressure to go first when I load the fixtures? I'll give you a minute. So we are looking for a premium from Game Week 29 that we could all go for. Remember, Spurs play, Arsenal play, Villa play. But the fixtures aren't easy to call. And of course, there is only 4 of them. And then we're looking for 2 differentials from those fixtures. So let me run through what the fixtures are. So many of you will be free hitting, but many of you will just be using a couple of free transfers to try and get 8 or 9 men out. And I do think 8 or 9 men might be okay. But as Ted says, if you do want to take a hit, then effectively it's not a 4-point hit. If they play and get 19, you're getting the 10th or 11th man out. You get those extra 2. It's a 2-point hit because they'll get 2 appearance points, you hope. So it's Fulham Leeds, Brighton Newcastle, West Ham Arsenal, and Villa Spurs. Who have you got for us, Ted?
Well, I mean, let's start with the differentials because I think the premium picks you've basically got Harry Kane and Gareth Bale, haven't you? So it is a bit of a no-brainer in those senses. But so the differentials, I think we've got loads of them, and I'm personally eyeing up Madja from Fulham. Because the stats wise, he's got the 5th highest XGI out of all players in the last 6.
Didn't start yesterday though.
He didn't start, but I saw that and I was like, right, that's surely tactical against City because they're not going to be well. I presume Scott Parker's idea was just to contain them and try and sort of get a low-scoring game and try and nick it on the break or something. But yeah, I think Madja probably plays in a regular game. And they've got... Who have they got? They've got Leeds, haven't they?
Yeah.
And Leeds have been a little bit... You know, they are known for their defensive vulnerabilities. So I think he could be a decent pick. I quite like having a Fulham player. I think... What's their fixtures like? That's the other thing. What are their fixtures?
So we'll change it to 2 differentials and your captain pick rather than your premium. So 2 differentials and your captain. So Ted's hit us with 1 with Madja. Rich, give us 1 differential.
My one is the same team. So there might be a lot of people targeting that Fulham team. So Lookman. I'm also wondering if he could be a captain option, especially obviously a very differential captain option because there's not many captain options around.
No.
And we've seen him cause a lot of problems. He caused problems early for City the other day. He caused Nico Williams an awful lot of problems in the first half against Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's not the best finisher, but I think Lookman could be a brilliant differential.
Okay, I'm going to give mine in the same fixture then, but I'm going to go for a Leeds player, and it's only if I think Bamford's fit. But I think, and I know he's not a massive differential, but I think he's probably about 10 to 12% owned, is Rafinha. I think he's just due a haul. Like, I've owned him for a month and I've got nothing really from him, but he is due. So Ted, you were looking at the fixtures for Fulham.
Yeah, for Fulham, I mean I think they're accessible. Like Leeds in 29, and then Villa, Wolves, Arsenal. They're not really, really difficult games, but they're not easy games either. So you could play them in. But I think if you invest in someone like Madja or Lookman, you can easily bench one of them if you've got like a replacement option that you can play ahead of them.
The problem with them is because I was looking at bringing in a defender as well for this week. Is Game Week 33. So I think it depends.
They don't play.
Well, because they don't play in 33. So
as well as Spurs and City not playing.
Yeah.
Who will all own 4 or 5 players from. Possibly.
Exactly. So they become a bit of a problem because you can't bench them in 33 because you'll be benching the Spurs or.
So do you know who the ideal team to target for that is? Brighton, and that is Mr. Joel Veltman.
Oh, I've just bought him this week.
Did you bring him in this week?
Yeah, I did. He's my 3rd sub, but I bought him in.
So you had 2 of your defenders subbed at half time?
No, Dan Burn got subbed.
Oh, it's Burn, of course. Oh, yeah, of course.
It was Burn that got subbed.
Veltman's playing right back, isn't he?
Yeah, and now we know Lamptey's out all season.
Yeah. So he'll be nailed, Veltman. And, of course, Dunk scored early, didn't he? So, Typical. But yeah, Veltman, he's got some of the best defensive attacking stats in the league.
Yeah.
And Brighton, crucially, play Newcastle at home in 29 and Sheffield United in 33.
Do they? Okay, nice.
So, I mean, they've got a tough run of fixtures, 30, 31, 32, but you could just sit him on your bench and play him in the blank game weeks and be very, very happy about those 2 fixtures.
That's why I didn't go Lewis Dunk. And I asked Rich this last week. If you're going Brighton defender, we agreed it was worth spending the extra and getting Dunk if you want a starter. If you want someone, all I want for my Brighton defender is someone to play in 29 and play in 33. I cannot see them starting for me any other time this season, right? They're going to be my 3rd sub. Therefore, save the 0.7 and go Veltman, or save the 0.8 and go Burn. It might, maybe not Burn because he could be injured, but if you just want them for those 2 weeks, I'm not sure if it's worth the 0.7 on your bench. Rich, what do you reckon?
You've now got me thinking because Trossard.
The guy, my boy.
Yeah, the guy we had on surgery this week, he got Trossard in and he got me quite tempted. And now I'm thinking, game week 33, that's a good fixture now, especially having just seen Sheffield United get dismantled.
Yeah.
Post Chris Wilder. Yeah, Trossard could be tempting, but would I want to bench a player with that kind of, that cost that much money for so many games and just wheel him out in those 2 fixtures? Whereas I guess Veltman's very easy to bench, same as Dunk.
Jack James Moore and Agent Ryan have both said Trossard as well, getting a bit of love. He's not playing as attacking as we've seen. Like today, he was in the 11 with Morpie, Welbeck, Gross. Like there are, not Gross because he's playing a bit deeper now. But we did see Trossard playing as almost like a number 9 a few months back. But he's still,
he does get subbed off early quite a bit as well. I mean, it was only a few minutes early today that he got subbed off.
When I look to why I've had a dreadful season, I look at my loyalty to Man City early, keeping Werner too long, and in game week 3 or 4, after Trossard had hit the post 3 times against United, I went Trossard instead of Grealish, and for the next 5 weeks, Grealish banged in everyone, and Trossard didn't. I got nothing from him. So we've both so far we're each picking 2 differentials and a captaincy option. We've had Ted go with Madja, Rich with Lookman, and me with Rafinha. I've also gone Veltman. You boys, if you're looking at a Brighton player, Ted, you kind of said Veltman too.
Yeah, I mean, I already have Ben White, so I'm thinking about doubling up, but because I think Newcastle is such a good fixture for a clean sheet potential. I mean,
that's what I thought on Friday.
I know, but did you watch it?
They did hit the bar, Newcastle, though, before the goal, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, that was Hayden who came on, wasn't it? And just before that, they've got key players out and they just created nothing. And I'm really confident of a Brighton clean sheet there. They're just going to dominate possession in that game. And I just really can't see Newcastle counter-attacking effectively. So yeah, double up for Brighton defence does seem logical, I have to say.
Rich, so you've mentioned Trossard. Are we thinking, is anyone looking at Lingard for next week? And he's obviously not playing tonight against United, so he's got a week off. He's been firing on all cylinders, hasn't he, Ted?
Absolutely, yeah. He was in consideration. I think I'm probably going to go Saka over him, purely because I have Antonio anyway, and I probably don't want to invest too much in that West Ham attack. Although West Ham are a really decent team to invest in. If I was going to have 2 from West Ham, I'd probably go Cresswell and Antonio over Lingard, because Cresswell's been absolutely killing it recently. But Lingard, absolutely acceptable shout. He's in the top 10 for XGI over the last 6 matches, so perfectly acceptable. I think I just prefer Saka for the long term.
Yeah.
So yeah, Saka for me is my other differential pick. Even he's about 10% owned, I reckon, so I could probably get away with it.
Yeah. And if we're looking at captaincy, Rich, can you see past Kane?
So I'm on Kane at the moment.
But you are considering something a bit different.
I'm considering Lookman. I think that would be the only player that would tempt me. I mean, Rafinha's a good shout as well. When you mentioned Rafinha, I think, because there are very limited captaincy options this week, and I think the safe, sensible play is no doubt about it, is Harry Kane.
Yeah.
But if you want to go for something crazy, there's all these cheap midfielders like Lookman and Rafinha. They could be very tempting. I mean, there's not really any defenders I'd look at captain. And then I mean, Ted mentioned Cresswell, but I just think Arsenal probably will score in that game. And I wouldn't want to captain a Brighton defender.
What do we think for the Aston Villa Spurs game? Because that's the game where there's going to be so much FPL interest. Like, we've all got... Everyone's going to have at least 4 players in that fixture. Some will have 6. Like, I'm on triple Spurs, and I've got double Villa and was thinking about bringing in Grealish if he's fit. But do I want 6 players in a fixture like that where it's so hard to predict? Like, some FPL teams are going to have 8 players, 7 or 8 players. You can have 6 in one fixture that we can't call. This could be a 20-point game week. Like, it could go so wrong, couldn't it, Ted?
It really could. I think it's a really tricky game, that, because Villa are defensively pretty sound, but offensively they're pretty poor recently without Grealish. So you've got really popular picks like Harry Kane and Gareth Bale going up against really popular picks Martinez and Konza and Target. So if one side does well, the other side doesn't do well. And as you say, it could be a 20-point game week because you're not going to get multiple returns from all of the options on show. So it's a really difficult one. I think I have, personally, goalkeeper-wise, I have Areola and Martinez, and I'm probably going to opt for going... Yeah, it is really difficult because Martinez obviously...
Headache.
I've got Lloris and Areola, and again, I've got the similar headache to you.
Yeah.
What are you going with?
Well, I'm going to probably go with Areola because Martinez against Spurs, I just fancy Spurs scoring, even though Aston Villa have been really good.
If Bamford's out, I think I'll go Areola.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because Rafinha, as you said, is your pick. It's been really good.
Subbed. Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like Pepe was warming up at half-time, Rich. Is that for Saka?
For Saka, yeah. All my players are getting subbed at half-time.
That looks like an injury. I mean, Arsenal have been playing so well offensively to make that... And Arteta's not one for making moves at half-time unless things are going completely wrong, and they haven't been. I think that's an injury, Rich. Again, maybe another one we're not confident ahead of our Gameweek 29 players we bring in.
This is getting ridiculous, isn't it?
It's just overplaying, isn't it? Too many minutes for these guys at the moment. These are guys in Europa League every Thursday.
Crikey,
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, I hope it is tactical.
I can't see it. I can't see it be tactical.
No, he's been playing well, and Pepe against Burnley wasted some really good chances.
And Arsenal have been playing well, haven't they? Arteta shouldn't feel the need to make a half-time sub.
No, it must be an injury. I can't think of a time he went down, but you just never know, do you?
Same with Dan. But did Dan Burn? Was he just didn't come out the second half? Same thing.
Same. We don't know about Ricardo yet either.
Ricardo didn't come out. Yeah, we didn't see him go down, did we?
No, it's just been a brutal game week.
Dan Burn wasn't. Didn't the manager say he had his hamstring issue or something?
Okay.
So maybe that I got it wrong, but it certainly, I think he confirmed an issue. So poor old Burn owners, that sounds bad. But Saka, that's annoying. Maybe it makes Smith Rowe a viable option.
Which saves us a bit of money.
Sorry, Rich, I know you've got
That's right.
You could also argue that big 50-50 there with Højbjerg coming off the better. But you could argue that yes, Saka was playing quite well, but Smith Rowe has probably been the best player on the pitch.
He's been excellent.
Yeah, it's been good. I might be joining Ted on that -16. It's
all
carefully planned out, 2 free transfers, and then
Will you take as many hits as it needs to get an 11 out, Ted? Because I'm going with probably 8, maybe 9 men without any hits. But
no, I don't think so. I think all of these injuries doesn't really bode well. And what we were saying earlier about a lot of the teams playing each other.
Yeah,
going to cancel out each other's points. So I think if you have the key men, I'm probably just going to do Son to Bale and a couple of other changes. Maybe a -8 is probably max. I'm going to push it. It really depends on the upside, doesn't it? Because I think Veltman is a really decent shout. I really can see a clean sheet there. I think he's worth a hit if you don't have him already. So I think it's just weighing up whether the hit is worth it. If you already factor in there's a -2 hit rather than a -4 for the extra 2 points that you're getting for appearance. So yeah, it is a difficult one. I really like Reguilon from Spurs. I think he's he's been underrated in this game. He's had
so attacking as well.
Yeah, he's had a few crosses. Just then he was just cut out from Harry Kane. So yeah, I think maybe Spurs defence, now that Son is injured, becomes a little bit more popular.
Oh, okay. So apparently Saka was feeling his hamstring walking off at half time, says James. Jack James. Thank you for that, mate. So again, it's the hamstrings. If we've seen a hamstring for Burn, a hamstring for Son, and then potentially a hamstring for Saka, and you do get hamstring injuries when you overplay and you're playing too many minutes. So I guess we always had to expect that at this point in the season we'd start to get those hamstring injuries, because we did the same in Project Restart. We were getting them towards the end of Project Restart, sort of by game week, 36, 37 plus. Rich, we didn't finish our captaincy chat. So captaincy. Let's all pick one player that we think we're going to give the armband to. I'm going to probably go boring and go Kane. But Rich, what were you thinking?
I'm thinking at the moment. I'm thinking Lookman. It probably will be Kane. But
you might go rogue.
One. Yeah, I'm just trying to digest everything, because obviously I started this game with 3 players. Now I've got 1. So yeah, it's like a big puzzle, isn't it? Because maybe I should start looking at, because I had 2 transfers. I was just going to build up to have 10 players, not do any hits, because I wildcarded recently.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, is there some captain I'm not thinking about that I could do a hit for?
Yeah.
I haven't got wildcards, so I'm trying to think longer term. Like, I want to get Chelsea players in as soon as possible. Defenders, anyway.
Same.
Yeah. So I don't want to go too crazy for this game week and then suddenly be left with a complete mess during the international break. Like, what have I done? Why have I done this? I want to try and think a bit more longer term. And if I have a bad game week next week, so be it, really.
Ted, who's yours?
Who's my captain? Well, if I was feeling punty, I think I'd go Bale. But the 2 main ones for me are Harry Kane and Rafinha. They've just been head and shoulders above the rest in terms of number of attacking stats. Like, I'm trying to get the numbers up here. Yeah. So they're both like 7 or 8 big attempts to score or assist in the last 6, and really, really good for small attempts too. Like, those 2 are head and shoulders above any other player, just in terms of amount of attempts to score or assist. So, I mean, they both have decent fixtures. Villa is probably harder on paper for Harry Kane in terms of the quality of their defence. Whereas, I mean, Fulham have been really good recently for defence as well. So it is quite a tough one, actually. I think just because it's Harry Kane, you just got to be boring and go Kane. He's going to be so heavily captained this week. It'll be mad. It'd be mad not to go with Harry Kane.
Yeah, if Bale is rested in the Europa League though, and Bale will get all those transfers in, there might be quite a few that go. We've seen Kane play 90 in the Europa, looking quite tired, and we've seen Smith Rowe's gone down holding his ankle. He doesn't look happy. It's a Lamela challenge. Lamela, by the way, who is so scrappy, he will never pull out of a 50-50. I do enjoy watching Lamela. He's a typical sort of Argentine footballer that never gives up and goes for those 50-50s. But looks like he's gone in a bit too heavy. But Smith Rowe doing his laces up and looks like he'll be all right.
He certainly has a red card record, doesn't he, Lamela? The most recent being against Martial this season. In that game.
Ted, they're doing first half average positions on Sky, and Tierney is the 3rd most advanced of any Arsenal player. So we had Saka, who was the most advanced, Lacazette, the number 9, second, and Tierney was actually more advanced than Smith Rowe and Odegaard, the number 10 and wide left. So, yeah. Definitely
5.2 million. Could be a bargain.
5.2, just for those attacking returns. 51 minutes gone, still 1-1. Spurs again, other than Lamela chance, which was a goal, of course. Harry Kane hasn't had a sniff. Gareth Bale hasn't had a sniff. Spurs have been poor. Arsenal have been pretty impressive. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens come 60, 70 minutes. I feel like Mourinho needs to do something in terms of attacking output to change this, or it's going to be a matter of time till Arsenal score. Could Dele come on? Could Bergwijn, maybe he does like, but Lucas has barely been in the game. Bale's been anonymous. Kane's had 0 service. Other than that, the Melo goal, very poor.
It just shows what a key player Son is. I mean, from the nature of Mourinho's tactics, he always likes to sit back and let other teams have possession. Yeah. And without Son, it really does limit their counter-attack, doesn't it? I mean, Arsenal are just swallowing Spurs at the moment. They're just eating them up. So it seems a bit dangerous for Spurs. They need to get something together quickly.
Yeah, no, they definitely do.
Yeah, and I hope we get clear updates on how long these injuries are. Like players like Son, obviously Saka now as well.
The good thing for both those players, we'll get the Europa League press conferences as well.
That's true.
That's quite nice. And also we get to see if they even are in the matchday squads on Thursday night, which they won't. Neither of those guys I don't think will be, but at least we know these managers are going to get more questions because there's extra press conferences because there's extra games.
Yeah, going into a blank game week with doubts though is just the worst, because it could be like I might have 11 players, I might have 7 players, like
yeah,
because you can't do. I like what Ted says, that it's only a 2-point hit if you do a hit.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of looking at it.
But if you don't know if you need to do a hit, it's a lot more unknown. It's a bit of a horrible situation to be in, really. But
yeah, you obviously have to factor in the long-term impact of your transfer as well, whether you want that player long-term. If you can kill 2 birds with one stone and bring in a player that you want long-term as well, then that's great. Probably worth the transfer. Yeah,
and who you remove, because I guess someone like Saka, I plan to have him long-term. So would I want to do a hit to remove Saka if he's out for that one game? Probably not.
Yes. It's really interesting.
It makes Aubameyang less appealing when you look at the long-term thing, but also maybe Aubameyang becomes more appealing if we're having to sell Son.
Yeah, but it's really tricky with Aubameyang. He's only started 3 of Arsenal's last 9 games, and 3 of those have been in his last 4, admittedly, but still, it does.
He's been out.
It does. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, whether he actually starts games. And I thought he was a constant professional. What's all of this disciplinary thing that he's being left out? Does anyone know more about that?
No, I guess Arteta's, that's going to be the first question he gets, isn't it? Post-match. And was he late? Has he had an argument with Arteta? I don't know. Has he been fined for something? Yeah, interesting one. But it ain't looking good. You do often see, though, when players are left out for disciplinary, it is often one game, isn't it? It's sort of, you're in the naughty corner and then you're back. Oh, and by the way, you're arrested, which helps us. So you could see some sort of level of response there. My problem with Aubameyang, as I said earlier, it's just that I only would want him for that one game. And West Ham are no pushovers. Try predicting West Ham Arsenal. Good luck. It's a bit like this game we're watching now, isn't it? Really, really difficult. Predictions for the Sinks has asked us, what are our predictions for the game to finish? BBC Radio, by the way, was saying he was late for a team meeting. Interesting. But yeah, how do we think this game's going to finish? I think it's going to finish 2-2. I think Arsenal are going to score next, and then Mourinho's going to make changes, and they're going to score late. But I think Mourinho's going to rob a 2-2.
It's a really good prediction, Gianni. I like that very much.
Dele Alli coming off the bench to score a tap-in or something.
You can tell Rich is troubled. He's swaying a little bit.
Yeah.
Poor chap.
Are you thinking ahead to 29 already, Rich? Are you planning your transfers already? Lacazette with a shot. Good save. Oh, he spilt it. No, okay, he's gathered again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always thinking about the next game week, but now it's like, yeah, I guess I can't do much without further news. But I mean, this game, I think Arsenal might squeak this now.
You reckon?
I've just got a feeling, but they're looking a lot more dominant than Spurs.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have the Man United team news at some point. What time's kickoff? 7? Is it 7?
7:15.
7:15, such a rubbish kickoff time.
Early, yeah.
I guess the Sunday night ones are always earlier than the Saturday night ones, aren't they? So in half an hour time, we'll have the United team news. Of course, there'll be loads of you hoping that Bruno starts. He'll be, he's captained by almost 100%, I think, in terms of effective ownership.
I've got Antonio off the bench in that one. I'm quite excited. I'll be ready for him, actually. Although Luke Shaw as well, so I don't want to lose that clean sheet.
Oh, we've got some news in the Arsenal-Spurs game. Talk us through it, Rich, but I think there's a substitution for Spurs.
I think Bale's gone off.
Before the 60th minute. Oh, 1 point for Bale.
He's got the Saka treatment.
Has he gone off yet, or is he coming off?
Yeah,
because it's going to be close to 60.
He's off. He's off.
He doesn't look happy.
Well in advance of the 60th minute.
Oh, so he's changing that. We said he might have to do something different. Sissoko coming on completely changes it. It means Ndombele is higher up the pitch. Bale's not happy, is he?
He's not happy. He's just muttered,
Am I coming off? Yeah. good lip reading there. He doesn't even give Mourinho eye contact either, Seb. Mourinho slaps him on the bum and Bale's eyes don't even look at him. He doesn't even acknowledge Mourinho.
God, That's a bit of a kick in the teeth. Although it is good for his prospects for 29. I mean, maybe not in terms of performance, but in terms of
but does this not mean he starts on Thursday night now? And then we're all sweating on whether or not he starts. Or maybe if he plays 60 on Thursday, we're happy.
Yeah, there's 600k worth of reasons why he starts as many games when Son is out, though. So, yeah, I think he's going to try and play him as much as possible, which is maybe why he's bringing him off as soon as now, because he maybe needs him in the Europa League and in 29. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. He didn't look happy at all, did he? Crikey.
It's nice to see a bit of fire, though, isn't it, Rich? Because we're all saying a few weeks back, oh, Bale, he's still not got in the starting 11. He's just on the golf course. He looks happy on the bench. Nice to see him actually a bit annoyed to come off. He wants this. He wants to fight for it.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point actually, because all the jokes about golf courses, they were becoming very common with Bale, especially with probably golf courses about to open again. He looked really annoyed, it is a good. He's a difficult player, really, isn't he? Because you could get the 1 pointer, but you can get what people got the other week, where like Luke triple captained him, didn't he, and got what. Ridiculous amount of points.
Yeah, with his brace.
Yeah, I'm not overly keen to get him. However, if Son's out for a while, kind of would just do it just to make Kane.
Or does Lamela become more appealing? Because it's probably going to be Bale and Lamela anyway, and Lamela is just so much cheaper.
But then it comes back to that conversation, getting players in for a blank. I want to know they're definitely going to play.
Yeah. That's the problem with Lamela. He doesn't play in whoever we buy doesn't play in 33 either, remember?
That's the other thing. So if Son's out a while,
maybe just do without Spurs. It's a hard fixture against Villa. We're already captaining Kane. So is Kane alone enough? Probably is, isn't it?
Yeah, he could just have Kane.
But then what teams do you target?
Do you know what, though? The worst thing I find about that...
Look, triple Lookman.
I think I'd hate owning Kane and captaining him and then not having any of the supporting cast. I'd feel very like I would want Kane to score, but I wouldn't want this player to get an assist. I wouldn't want this player to get. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Sort of ruins the game.
That's how you play the game, though, isn't it, Rich? You like committing. You went triple Chelsea defence at times. You had triple Leeds attack. You're big on the. If someone scores, I want to own the player that assists him as well, rather than spreading your bets.
Exactly. So even though I had Vardy captain today, I wish I had Iheanacho as well, because then it would just to be greedy. Yeah, I do quite like having more than one if I'm gonna go for something. Obviously, it doesn't always work.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I really like the double up. It's much of a differential if you've got a player who's really highly owned and you double up on that team, then it makes it a bit more of a differential pick. But yeah, with Spurs, we think about the fixtures after 29. We've got Newcastle away, which is a really good fixture to own them. But then you've got Man United and Everton, and then a blank. So it's a bit of a tricky one. Like, I will be in the same situation as you guys, whether to transfer out Son for Bale or whether to just save the hit, save the points, and just go without him. Because my original plan was to keep Son and then upgrade him to Salah in 30 or 31. So I didn't even want to have Son long term.
Yeah.
So why would I transfer in Bale to do exactly the same move?
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. And I don't think Spurs are going to absolutely batter Villa. I don't think it's just...
No.
And bringing Salah back might be quite key because he's a good captaincy option around, is it 32, 33? They've got like Sheffield United and Newcastle or something.
Yeah, they do. Sorry, Dele Alli's coming on.
Oh, okay. So it'll be Lucas coming off, I expect. Let's have a look. Is it Lucas? Don't know.
God, Mo Salah. Yeah. His fixtures are great until the end.
No, they're taking Ndombele off.
Ndombele, who never plays more than 70.
Yeah. Well, they started to more recently, but yeah. Yeah, so Dele's. So obviously Mourinho's trying different things as well. Just to go back to Bale, I think I'd never captain Bale. Or I couldn't see myself captaining Bale when you can captain Kane.
Yeah.
So I guess that's...
okay. I think we've got a bit of drama, Rich. I'll let you talk us through it. I'm on 61, 34, 35, 36. So I'm a little bit behind you, I think. You're still ahead of me, right?
Oh, Lacazette's just gone down in the box. I haven't got sound on. It looks like a penalty.
Oh, come on, Hugo. I need a penalty save here. That will sort me right out.
Imagine that on the stream.
What do you get for a penalty save? It's big, isn't it?
Or
A lot, because you get all the bonus. You get all the bonus.
You're guaranteed
points as
3
well.
bonus
Yeah.
if you save a pen.
this looks a strange. I just watched it back, and he's taken a shot and sort of missed it, and it's been taken out by the
Oh, it's an
defender.
air shot. Maybe it's not a penalty. I mean, he's given a penalty. Do you know what?
Remember,
Lacazette
Bamiyang's not on the pitch, so who's going to take the pen? You'd think Lacazette.
thinks so.
Is that a
I think-
penalty? Has it been given?
No.
I don't think it's going to be. Lacazette, I haven't got sound on, but the other day against Burnley, he screamed when no one went. I thought he'd like broken his leg from the scream. So
The
I don't know
ball's
if he's
gone.
done that again.
The ball's obviously it's a pen if he hasn't gone to strike the ball, but he strikes the ball, air shoots it, the ball runs out, and then the tackle's made, the challenge is made. It's Michael Oliver, the ref. He has given a booking.
He's got a yellow out.
He's given a booking to presumably the Arsenal player Sanchez. Yeah,
Is it so strange?
Penalty given.
Because
Yeah.
Penalty given.
What?
Penalty given. Lacazette's taking it.
Oh, Harry
that's
Kane's
so
not happy.
debatable. That's so debatable.
Do you want me to ruin it for you, or do you want me to say if it goes in or not?
I don't know.
It's showing the graphic. He scored his last 5. No misses.
How on earth has that penalty been given?
Don't tell me, Rich. Come on, Hugo.
I'm going to have to keep a straight face now.
Have you seen it yet, Rich?
No, not yet.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I'm seeing. So Lacazette is over the ball. Yeah, you're right. He's 5-5. He scored the last 5. I'm trying to keep my eyes off the screen so I don't look at the chat.
I'm trying not to give anything away. I'm just acting normal.
Lacazette picks it up. Oh, he slots it in.
Yeah, just quite a standard penalty, really, wasn't it? I'm
Decent
surprised
penalty.
that was a penalty, but yeah.
What on earth is that decision? He's completely missed the ball, kicked Sanchez, and then fallen over.
Yeah.
Has he got any of the ball?
VAR didn't take their time over that either. It was pretty quick for Oliver.
Do you know what? Looking at it again, he might have got a very small touch on the ball, but he was
Yeah,
never
he
like
did.
under control.
Oh, yeah.
He's just nicked the ball before he's whacked his foot into Sanchez.
It's
and
almost
then
like he's hit the ball like if you took a golf shot and missed
Does he definitely touch the
like,
ball?
it's-
I'm not seeing that, guys.
Yeah, he
Yeah?
does. Yeah.
I think the ball does deviate very slow. I mean, it's like a shanked golf shot, like
But it's-
very, really, very.
It's like a technicality, isn't it? He's done a really terrible shot. He's just completely missed it. And then his follow through has caught Sanchez, and then he falls over and the penalty's given.
And a yellow card.
It's just utterly ridiculous.
Sanchez is a bit silly going in like that, though.
Yeah, he has committed over. I
When
mean,
you
didn't
do
need to
that,
it.
you know you're at risk of conceding a pen. But
It's-
I'm with
he's-
you,
he's
Ted.
panicked.
It shouldn't. It's not a penalty for me. Mourinho's going to be out. Mourinho's going to have some words post match, and he.
That's just. I'm trying to think of a scenario on like.
Guys in the chat, let us know what you think. I'm guessing you're all agreeing with us here. I mean, Metallic has said, how on earth is that a pen? Anyone think it was a penalty? Like, for me, if it's a second or two earlier, I could see it being given, but.
Because Sanchez hasn't gone and taken him out directly. He's beside the player, and Lacazette has kicked
After he
his
shot.
leg into him. Yeah. So that's a very strange decision. And I'm so confused why VAR
I do try and
didn't-
think, like, if it was on the halfway line, would it be a free kick? Probably. That's the only defence I could give it the other way.
It's a fair
but-
point. I think we'd probably all be okay with the free kick on that. Guys, just thought about this. 65 minutes played. Spurs have used all 3 of their subs. We're getting, remember, Son came off early, so we had Lamela on.
Yeah.
We've then had Ndombele come off for Sissoko and Delhi for Bale, or vice versa. So, yeah, all 3 subs. So Spurs need... I don't know what they're going to do to get back into this game.
It's just all pointing to a 2-2 Harry Kane equaliser in the 88th minute. It's going to happen.
What was my prediction? I might have called this.
Your prediction, my prediction.
Yeah, true. I actually said it was going to be a Delhi tap-in. Oh, the chat are all saying never a penalty, not a penalty. VAR
I
looked for
agree.
it. Yeah, Sinks makes a good point, and we said it. 13 attempts to Spurs' 1, by the way, in
Yeah,
this
that's
game.
mad. That was the only shot. Was that?
VAR didn't take hardly any time to look at it. And they really didn't, did they? We only saw like one angle, and then it was given.
That's just... I'm astounded by that decision.
Yeah, there's a few each week now, isn't there? Bad ones. I mean, a lot around the handball recently. We've had, before that, a lot of offsides. Now this is just a decision. Like, this isn't a handball or an offside. This is just, why are they not taking more time to consider that? And how, by the letter of law, is that a pen once the ball's already gone out and the shot's been taken?
Super weird. I'm sure there's some technicality why VAR didn't get involved. It's not clear and obvious. He's got the ball before he's whacked Sanchez, something like that. But I mean, just to you and I, and just obvious sense, common sense, it just doesn't ring true to being a penalty at all. It's an interesting one.
Mika asking how injured was Son. El Fozzie's mentioned it, hamstring. And we did mention, guys, for all the injury news throughout the week, follow Fancy Football Scout on Twitter, because all those press conferences are transcribed pretty much. All the key quotes come out and they'll keep you up to date. But the good thing is about Son is we get a Thursday night game, so Mourinho will be quizzed and there's more press conferences. So we'll know about the fitness of Saka, the fitness of Son. So don't be making those transfers out just yet. And because Bale's not banged, there won't be many doing what we thought they would do 10 minutes into the game when Son went off, of loads of sideways moves from Son to Bale. We don't know if that's going to happen now, right, Ted? We're thinking maybe not.
Oh, I don't know. It's just, it's complete. I know what Rich is saying, that it completely messes with your mind when all of these different events happen and you have to rebase your plans over and over again.
Yeah.
It's really, a fundamental.
Has Kane just got a booking?
Lamela.
Oh,
Lamela.
Thought that was Kane.
Don't worry.
Sorry, Ted. Carry on.
It's just a further emphasis not to make early transfers, because anything can change in these game weeks. And when you're planning hits for game week 29, like I was planning on bringing in Saka, but now he goes off injured. Now I have to completely change my mind. Now I'm probably going to bring in Jesse Lingard. So yeah, it's very, very strange. What do you reckon? Do you reckon Arsenal deserve this? I reckon they probably do.
Yeah, I've actually been really impressed with them. They've not given Spurs a sniff, which isn't easy. Spurs, by the way, maybe we got too excited because it was Burnley and Crystal Palace, but 2 big wins. We were all saying the Spurs attack, but it was Burnley and Crystal Palace at home. They've now an away game against Arsenal and one attempt. What have you seen, Rich?
Spurs, Kane whipped a beautiful ball in. They almost had their second shot, but everyone missed it.
So still 2-1, and Spurs on the attack. I'm seeing it after Rich has.
Ooh,
and Kane, it's a great ball from Kane. And was it Dele? Dele goes for the header and just misses it.
He's normally so good in the air as well, Dele.
Guys in the chat, Jax mentioned that Lamela's got his 5th of the booking and said he'll be suspended now. No, Jax. So the first 5 bookings, that only matters for the first half of the season. So by, I think it was the 31st of January or around then, can't remember the game week, it was wiped out. So it's only the first 5 gives a 1-match suspension if it was done in the first half of the season. Same for the second half, I believe. So Lamela is still available unless he gets injured for next week. No suspension. And he's 5.7 million. After that, Rabona, we're going to see some Lamela love. I'm sure of it.
Your story about Lamela when he joined the league, I could just see that's the kind of player you bring in and then you get stuck with him for weeks and you're like, why have I
It was like Timo Werner this season.
Yeah, like Werner, or I'm sure there's been, or Ben Rama.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there's so many, isn't there? I remember a couple of seasons ago, we all went Theo Walcott for 1 week and Pedro. And they were
Pedro.
Do you remember?
Mkhitaryan. We all loved Mkhitaryan when he went to... We all saw the assist record at Dortmund. We broke the Bundesliga record for assists. And we were like, yeah, let's all buy Mkhitaryan. Rubbish.
They're all sheep picks, and you do it, and you feel really good about it. And then as soon as there's like 30 minutes in the game, you're like, why have I done this? Like Captain Gianni. Why have I done this?
Yeah, but everyone always remembers the picks like Souček or, ones like that where everyone's gone for them and they continue to score week in, week out.
That's very true.
We forget about the Mkhitaryan's and the Pedros.
We probably had a few good ones as well, though, right? I'm guessing, I can't remember this, when Aubameyang came to the league, we probably all jumped on him, didn't we? And we would have been rewarded.
I didn't.
Did you not? Yeah, I can't remember. I really can't remember. I can barely remember my team from like a month ago. Let alone, I find it amazing when people can remember stories of years gone by. I can't tell you who I triple captained even last season. Like
sometimes I just remember it's the events I remember. Like I remember being somewhere and then I'll get an alert on my phone that someone scored and it's either good or bad. You know, you're queuing for a coffee in Starbucks, and Mkhitaryan scores, and you're like, oh.
I do remember when did Aguero score 4 once, and I think he was my triple captain. I do remember that.
At Newcastle. I think it was. Yeah, I think that was 4 or 5. Is this
sorry to interrupt you. Lamela's just sort of dived in on Xhaka.
He's on a yellow card.
Reckless on a yellow card. He's pushing his luck a little bit. He's got to be watchful.
We said he's Aggie, didn't we? We said he's an Aggie RG.
South American flair.
Yeah. Oh, that's a yellow.
Yeah.
That has to be a yellow. You've seen them given for a red.
Oh, he just needs to cool it down.
I think he'd be subbed off if they had a 4th sub.
Yeah.
Mourinho would have seen that and gone, get off. 72 minutes played. We need 10 men.
Odds on Lamela getting sent off the rest of this match.
Yeah. He is. That was right in front of Arteta as well, who sort of gave the refs some vocals. But I don't understand how Michael Oliver's not sent him off. If quite honestly, is it because he knows it was a soft penalty? I don't know.
I mean, you've got to think that it plays in the referee's mind that he's going to be a little bit lax on the second time round on the challenge. So maybe he has done that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it is a bit of bias in the referee's decision. Whether he thought the former yellow card was a bit harsh, and he just goes a bit lax on the next one. Maybe it's difficult. Maybe you should treat them in isolation.
Yeah, you treat that second one in isolation, and every ref gives it. But yeah,
this game's getting a bit stretched for me, and I think there's another goal in it for someone.
Ooh.
And I think,
well, you predicted 2-2, so
maybe it's going to be 3-1 though. As Spurs actually commit some numbers forward, which they've not really done. They've just not had the ball though, have they, to do that? The Spurs midfield's been completely overrun. We're looking at, he put in Sissoko, and I can see why, because the two of Højbjerg and Ndombele had 0 control in this football match versus the 3 of Arsenal, if you count Odegaard dropping in with Thomas and Xhaka.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, it seems to have been quite comfortable for Arsenal so far. I mean, Spurs haven't looked threatening. Barely at all. And does this not make you rethink the obvious Kane captain? Because it is the obvious captain.
I just think you have to sort of treat this game in isolation, don't you? Because it's the London derby. There's theoretically emotions are high. And maybe other games are much more accessible to the likes of Kane. Maybe Aston Villa, for example. But yeah, it is a tricky one. Like, maybe we all just have Harry Kane. Maybe we're not going to have Gareth Bale. I do like the likes of Reguilon, actually, though, because I don't think Villa are going to score against Spurs.
Do you not? No. Not if Grealish is out. If Grealish is back, though...
I'd love if I was...
Rich, I'm going to come to you, because I think there's been a bit of drama.
Kane is shoulder barred someone in the head. They're just showing Kane now.
Okay.
I haven't seen it again. I mean, it doesn't look like there's been a booking or anything.
He's gone to shoulder barge him, and his elbow goes into Gabriel's face. I think it's accidental.
Oh, there's been something else. Lamela, I think he's getting sent off.
Of course he is.
Just elbow Tierney in the head. Is it Tierney?
We called it. We absolutely called it 2 minutes ago.
Right, Mourinho's face.
Is it a red? Is it definitely a second yellow?
He's given him a second yellow, so it's not a straight red. But yeah, second yellow, he's off.
We absolutely called it. Like, of course. Do you know what? He could have probably committed any foul there and been at risk of another yellow after what, Ted had alluded to the fact that, when you double up and look at 2 decisions together. But that looks like it's a yellow in isolation regardless, right?
Yeah, no, it does. It does. I mean, they haven't shown a replay of it yet, so I can't see who he is.
Kane got away with his sort of shoulder barge that wasn't a shoulder barge. But...
Kane's was less blatant. Lamela's on first look, it looked like a clear, his elbow was really sticking out.
You silly boy now, because Son's probably going to be out next week, and now you are too, Lamela.
So that guy who said he was suspended, he was correct.
How much is Dele Alli?
We're moving from player to player here.
Yeah, we're recommending everyone, and we're cursing them.
How much is Bergwijn?
Yeah.
Oh, Lamela, you're the you've been Spurs' probably only decent attacking player.
It was Tierney that he elbowed.
We could kiss goodbye to a Kane winner now, can't we? 10 men.
Well, you never know. You never know. But we are really cursing these players, aren't we? Let's talk about...
I'm just seeing the replay. That's soft, but it's a yellow.
I think it's the fact his arm's so clearly out.
This is what we were talking about, Gianni, wasn't it? The fact that other challenge was probably a yellow, and he's gone, maybe I'm a bit being soft there. So any other opportunity he gets to send him off, he's going to take advantage of it.
Right, so Willian, are we buying him?
Oh, I think there's been another sub from Arsenal. The Croydon De Bruyne has been subbed off, according to Kevin.
Yeah, Willian's just come on for him.
Kane has only completed 6 passes, says Paul Tinkler. Oh, wow. Guys, for all the stats we've used, if you're into your stats as well, then definitely check out the members area of Fantasy Football Scout if you don't already. Ted, you've given us some juicy ones earlier from the membership area. Do check that out. Willian has come on for Smith Rowe. I can't wait to see some of the touch maps and heat maps from this game.
Kane, so 19 touches, lost the ball 8 times.
Ooh, ouch.
Bad.
But I guess playing a more creative role, you're going to lose the ball more often.
True.
Trying to defend Harry there, aren't I?
Has he been in a creative role today, though?
I mean, I'm just thinking of that but where he crossed the ball in for Delhi. He was deep, wasn't he?
He was deep and wide,
Yeah.
It's good. I think Arsenal have contained Spurs really well here, and I think maybe the inclusion of Thomas Partey really makes a difference. I think he's excellent. He's had a great game.
He pairs well with Xhaka, doesn't he? Those two have some. They're pretty solid.
Doherty. Oh no, it's just a corner, I think.
It's like a no thrills DM.
Xhaka just went in on Doherty, and I thought that was going to be a penalty, but
another hothead, Xhaka. This is like a London derby with fans in the stadium, isn't it?
It honestly clatters him.
God, it really does enforce the reputation of the London derby for red cards.
That's it. That is a big tackle right in front of Oliver on the edge of the box, but he does win the ball, so I guess it's not a yellow. It's
we were talking about 90s football earlier, and that felt a bit more like that, didn't it? Or maybe even pre-90s football.
That is absolutely huge. James in the chat, Kane's not the same player without Son. Got a good point. Those two have combined for more goals than any other partnership in the league by a country mile. I think any partnership in the league ever. I
think it's Lampard and Drogba is the other one. I'm not sure if they've got the same or they've been overtaken.
Oh, they overtook Sheringham and Sutton and Shearer. I think they were top.
Okay.
The goals and assists combined record.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sutton and Shearer were top, and I think they overtook them last week.
Yeah, I thought they overtook someone last week. I've
just looked it up. So it's
what we got?
Drogba and Lampard are still top.
Get
36.
Is that combined? What, assisting each other?
I think so.
I thought it was only about 20 or something. That's a lot.
Most Premier League goal.
Oh no, maybe that's total number of goals and assists rather than assisting each other.
Yeah,
they're two different things, aren't they?
I think the Son and Kane thing was 20. That sounds a lot. 37.
37 might be total number of goals and assists Lampard and Drogba got.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Or maybe it was, and in one season as well.
I also wonder with those stats, are these strictly like FPL assists, or are these?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? Like the assists don't always.
Like the hit in the crossbar, and then
and the sort of penalty, winning a penalty for him, and whatever. I don't know, because there's fantasy assists and there's actual assists on there. There's the technical one, so it's a good point. I mean, horses are courses here. Yeah, Drogba and Lampard still top goal combination.
I love that combo. I did love that combo, and Lampard was always good value for penalties. I think he got 20 goals plus for like 3 seasons on the bounce or something in the Premier League from a midfielder. But he was always 11, 12 million, wasn't he? Flapjap is talking about the season, and TED Talks is talking about overall. So scoop, I don't know. We'll try and confirm that by the end of the show. El Fozzie's asked, what are our thoughts on Bruno and Salah? Look, guys, we talked about captaincy, didn't we? Kane was obviously captain by more than anyone, I think, this game week. But in terms of effective ownership, Bruno's going to be in and around the 100% mark. Can we see Bruno and Salah getting returns? I can see one of them returning this game week. I think Salah against Wolves is more likely than Bruno against West Ham. What do you reckon, guys? Rich, I'll come to you first. You've recently sold both, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm all out after this game. So I'm not going to watch any more football.
You have had Vardy come home for you, though. You're having a good game week.
I'm not going to complain. Well, apart from the 4 players who've got 1 point, I'm having a good game week. If I had to pick one out of Salah and Bruno, I'd much rather have Salah. I think Ted touched on it earlier that West Ham's not an easy game.
Yeah.
United have got a lot of injuries, so maybe you could see that both ways, can't you? You could see it. Bruno's more of a talisman when the team's weaker. but also United are going to be worse. And United have been, statistically, they've been worse recently. I like Salah. I'm not too keen on Bruno, but he always seems to find a way. So,
and when he scores, whether it's that penalty or that worldie out of nowhere, he gets the bonus. Like against West Brom, pops up with a worldie out of nowhere. Last week against City, penalty, anonymous for the other 89 minutes. Yellow card for Xhaka, Spurs on the attack, 82 minutes gone.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, that was coming.
All the passionate people in this game, all the passionate players are getting booked, and that's not surprising because it does tend to bring the worst out of players, this sort of event, as Lamela has seen. But yeah, no, we're going back to the Man United and the...
and it's what you said it would be.
2-2.
Oh, no. Is it? It's offside.
No! Lucas with the free kick from... Okay, so I'm going to see it as it happens. Lucas whips it in. Ball comes in. Kane cushions it down.
Oh, he's miles off.
Is he off? Definitely,
yeah,
Rich.
He is. They've done slowing it down.
I was so close to be nailed. I've made such good predictions during this match.
That was the first thing I thought of. That was Ted's prediction 2-2.
Oh, he's about a metre offside, isn't he?
Yeah,
and there's you're right. There is 3 of them. I think Dele and Sissoko are offside too. Good header. It's coming.
I'm going to go and buy a lottery ticket for tonight.
Yeah. Oh, I could have done with that. You just know if Kane scores, he probably gets involved in the BPS as well. Let's check out the BPS. And also, guys, in 3 minutes' time, we've got Man United team news. Looking forward to that.
I'm guessing Saka hasn't got any bonus yet, or Son.
So we've got Odegaard on 3, Lacazette on 2, and Tierney on 1.
Wow.
Odegaard's clearly ahead as well, isn't he?
Yeah, 31, 28, 26. And then after that, Smith Rowe 19. So they are your 3 getting bonus if nothing changes.
Tied 4th, yeah.
Just going to load the...
Did you see Iheanacho's bonus points earlier?
Oh,
he dropped.
He was on 77, I saw.
He finished on 94.
Oh, my goodness.
I think, that must be one of the highest I remember seeing.
Have we ever seen... I can't remember ever seeing triple figures.
No. Well, I mean, he created a couple of big chances and... he scored from all his shots as well. No, I can't remember seeing triple figures.
Can we just recap the rise and fall of Eric Lamela during this match? He scores an absolute worldie and then is just stupid enough to get...
And he comes on as a sub. He didn't even start. And he's getting the headlines. He came on for Son after, 15 minutes?
His career in one game, isn't it?
Yeah. Suspended or injured off the back of it. Poor Lamela.
Bonkers.
He's the sort of player you want in your team for a kind of a match where you just want to you need the rest of the team to follow you and be up for every 50-50. But he is someone that you watch and go, you need another sub in the bank because when he gets fired up, it could easily be one yellow followed by another. As we were saying, if Mourinho had another sub, he would have definitely hooked him.
Yeah, and he was in your FPL team almost 45 minutes ago, and now that's completely changed.
5.7 million ahead of Villa next week. He was going to be a nice 1 week punt. Reminiscing about when I bought him in 2014 and lost 0.5 within a month.
Basically, a lot of the players we've talked about, we can't pick now. So we were talking about Saka for a good, 10, 15 minutes, weren't we?
So now we're all going to buy Dele or Lucas.
Or Smith Rowe, potentially.
Doesn't that say it all? That Spurs are going to be really lacking front line. What's their starting formation against Villa? We've got Kane, Dele, Lucas, Giovanni Lo Celso's still injured.
Yeah, he might go Bergwijn.
Yeah. Yeah, where is he? Why isn't he coming?
He's just out of favour, isn't he? Yeah, and he's just been out. It's either Bale or Bergwijn that's been starting, and obviously Bale's been starting of late. I'm just getting the Man United team news. I'm 30 seconds away.
Kane's a lot more central now. I mean, you just have Moura just crossed it in for him again. Obviously, it's gone for a corner.
It was 13 goals and assist combinations in a single season. Shearer and Sutton had it, and now it's Kane and Son who are level. Thank you very much, Robbie Glynn.
Yeah, so he's spot on. He's talking about in one single season as opposed to just ever in total.
Okay. Yeah. And I was well off thinking it was 20 then. So it was only 13. I guess I'd say only. That's quite a
goal and assist combinations between the two. Yeah, that is useful. I mean, now smashed a record, weren't they, Kane and Son? They got 10 games to go still, more.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Oh, okay. Man United team news. Come on. Refreshing the Twitter page. Here we go. Henderson starts. Lindelof, Maguire, Rashford, Greenwood, Fred, Bruno, James, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, McTominay. So the 4 at the back are McTominay right back, Lindelof, Maguire, left back Shaw. You'll be pleased to know. Tellez on the bench. The holding mids, you've got Fred and McTominay. Then you've got James playing on the right. Probably be Greenwood up front, Rashford on left, Bruno in the middle. So it's probably going to be Greenwood up top by himself. And then if we look at the West Ham team news, I think we've got Mark Noble starting. Obviously, there's no Lingard today, so maybe Moyes will put an extra man in the middle and then just have the 2 up front instead of 3. So it's Fabianski, Soufal, Diop, Dawson, Cresswell as the back 4. Johnson plays as well, so it's actually a back 5.
Oh, yeah.
Rice,
Yeah.
Souček, Noble as a 3. And then Bowen and Antonio up top, who will just be running the channels, you expect.
Yeah, roaming.
Yeah,
It'd be interesting. I wonder whether Antonio bullies those Man United centre-backs today. Not sure, because he didn't have a very good game last time, did he? He was pretty absent.
He's looked a bit out of sorts recently for Antonio. I wonder if he's a bit cautious over that hamstring. What do you reckon? Pulling out of a few sprints, not running as much, knowing that when he does, he's always at risk?
I think he's just had one bad game where he was pretty absent. And then, I don't know, I'd be surprised if Moyes played him every single time and he'd still be worried about his hamstrings. Surely he'd be confident enough to, trust his body. So I'm not too concerned. I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, 88 minutes gone. Still Arsenal 2, Spurs 1. There'll probably be 3 or 4 minutes added time. So we've got 5 minutes of football left. Kane goes down, wins the free kick. This is a big result for Arsenal and Arteta.
It's surprising, isn't it?
It's going to take them close in the league.
Spurs have got a man down and they're creating all the chances. So it's.
I think Kane's taken the free kick. Yeah, he is.
Oh, go on, have a dig. It's from the angle, but Kane has scored a free kick from this angle before. He'll shoot from here, won't he, Rich? He'll have a go.
I think so. I just hope it's not like that one against Iceland.
Come on, Harry. Come on, I need this.
They love these walls at the moment with someone laying down, don't they? Is that Tierney on the floor?
Do you know what? And rightly so, Rich, because Juve conceded in the week.
Oh, he's hit the post.
No!
Oh, that's cleared.
Oh! I haven't seen it yet. The laying down on the wall is great.
He's gone low as well.
Yeah, they've started doing it a lot more often now.
I wish Juventus had done it the other day. Did you see the late goal? Ronaldo turned his back, went under the wall, and Juve knocked out the Champions League. Kane, that's so well hit.
He's beat the keeper.
I love the guy on the floor who's just lying as flat as he can, not knowing a single thing about what's going on. And he just completely misses the ball anyway.
Spurs are coming again, and that's... Oh, no.
That'd be a proper smash and grab if Spurs equalise now, wouldn't it?
I mean, they've got the intent now while they're down to 10 men. It's...
Just looking at the Premier League table, with an Arsenal win here, yeah, they closed the gap to Spurs to only 4 points.
Wow.
Kane captainers have been unlucky this last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Great effort from Kane in that free kick. Fantastic.
Yeah.
He hits it so well, doesn't he? We've never known Kane really for free kicks, have we? Like at Spurs, we've always had Eriksen on them, and then more recently, if Bale's on the pitch, he takes it. We've even seen Eric Dyer stepping up, yeah. And remember, England fans, Dyer versus Russia in France at the Euros.
Last minute, wasn't it?
I was in the stadium in Marseille, and we all thought it was Rooney. Yeah, it was Dyer. I never knew Dyer could take free kicks, and I don't think he's scored any decent ones for Spurs recently. Oh, certainly not in the last few years.
And I think we've mentioned it before, but that was the tournament where Kane took that free kick against Iceland, and everyone put that Titanic recorder music over it because it was so bad. He was on
corners as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Butler wants to know, should we pick Højbjerg? Don't do it, Daniel. The only time you should ever pick a DM, and Højbjerg is a DM, is if they're on penalties. So your Jorginhos, your Mark Nobles, but even then, don't love them. So yeah, swerve that. I know he's 4.9, but what's your point ceiling with Højbjerg? 3. It's not worth it.
No.
Unless they change yellow cards to be 5 points.
+5.
Yeah. Or maybe in the... I think he's good in the Sky game from what I've heard.
Oh, okay.
Not FPL. Yeah, I think he gets a lot of because they have all the passing tiers and stuff, don't they? So
I couldn't tell you, but that's interesting, and it's quite nice to have a game where the DMs are rewarded.
Yeah. I think I could be completely making that up. So.
We all just are talking FPL throughout this show. By the way, guys, 5 minutes at a time. Didn't see that one coming. I know we had the VAR decision for the goal, but that only took a minute. We had a red card, but again, wasn't a long one. So surprised it's been 5, but we're into the 92nd minute. It's been a chance, Rich.
No, they just showed that Kane. Sorry, they just showed that Kane free kick again, and it's so unlucky. It's such a great free kick.
Yeah. Really is. And with the offside goal we saw 2 minutes before that, Kane captainers, you've come close a couple of times.
Yeah, it's unlucky. I think Spurs are doing all the pressing here, aren't they? They're on the front foot, even a man down. So Arsenal got to watch this, not being too tentative.
Kane doing stuff like that does start making me think, why would I risk Lookman, if I'm honest? You know, if he's doing...
It was questionable in the first place, Rich, but I was trying to be nice.
I always try and look towards the differentials and then maybe...
Owning Lookman will be enough, I think.
Yeah, probably. Then again, the number of players that we've had injured this week, maybe
True.
Maybe we will be looking at Højbjerg. There won't be many players left.
Just looking at bonus, and it's still Odegaard, Lacazette and Tierney in that order.
Imagine if you minus forward to bring in Højbjerg and you just got a freak goal against Villa, and that would be absolutely mental.
Yeah, maybe it become the new Gundogan.
It's a long shot, but
yeah, I probably shouldn't say that, but yeah.
I'm loving El Neni running the ball down here with the high press. Arsenal, yeah, I mean, El Neni obviously came on recently, so he's fresh, but Arsenal are running. You know, they've got Willian up there, they've got Pepe up there, they've got El Nene, all fresh. But since Spurs have gone down to 10 men, they're the ones with the ball. They've been crying for the ball all game.
I think there's another free kick just outside the D here for Spurs.
Come on, Harry.
It's very central.
What's your clock on, Rich? 94?
I'm on 93.47.
It's a better angle than the last one.
Lucas Moore has been brought down. Nice run. He ran about 15 yards. He brought down the edge of the area. So, wonder if it's Mr. Harry Kane one more time for the.
It has to be, doesn't it? Who else has stood over with him?
It can't be anyone else.
Looks like Reguilon stood with him, I think.
Suits the left footer, but after the club captain and talisman has just hit the post.
Yeah. They've got the line down in the wall again. Cedric, sorry, it is Cedric that does he's the man selected.
Takes one for the team. The sacrificial lamb.
Well, from the last one, they should have 2 people lying lengthways. Because Kane just completely missed him.
Yeah, so it is. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Kane here.
Yeah.
Fair play turning your back when you lay down.
It's over. As in over the bar. The game's still going on.
Oh dear. Mohamed, come on. It's not a goal for Reguilon. I don't believe you. We've just had Kane fire over, 94th minute. Rich, let us know as soon as that whistle goes.
I mean, I think they're trying to retrieve the ball still. So on the 95th minute now. So there was meant to be 5 minutes stoppage time.
Unbelievable. Looks like it's a good win for Arsenal. Really good.
Yeah, it's a cracking win.
Not a good day for FPL, really, was it? Or not? I don't think there was too many relevant assets.
When it rains, it pours in FPL. We've had a really terrible week for injuries. Bamford and all of the people in this game. It's really, really tough.
Yeah. Whistle's gone.
Yep.
Full time. Yeah, you're right. I mean, let's recap on some of those injuries. You were saying, Ted, we had Bamford. Then we had Saka, Son. We've had Dan Burn.
Yeah.
Got Lamela.
I'm not sure about Ricardo, although I think a lot of people are selling him anyway.
True though, still another one you got to use a transfer on.
Gone. Yeah, I was feeling quite smug with 2 transfers, and I mean I don't have Bamford thankfully because it's hard enough as it is. So,
and of course, Lamela will be suspended. So
yeah, so people might have brought him in. And so Ted, your -16 doesn't look that bad right now. How about you about average?
There'll be loads that are still sitting on a wild card that will think it might be worth doing it, but then the fear of wildcarding this week is you're just planning your team round a blank with rubbish teams.
Brighton, yeah. I think I'd rather use we talked about the free hit earlier, didn't we?
I think the free hit's more viable now than ever, than it was 2 hours ago or 4 hours ago.
I agree, but I wouldn't say wildcard because you're just planning it around horrible fixtures.
Sanchez is in Oliver's face, just going back to that penalty decision, which none of the three of us all agreed. We were pretty surprised by that. So Lacazette is the match winner with the pen. Odegaard played really well, got 90 today. Could be seeing a really good player coming through here at Arsenal. I know obviously comes with a lot of pedigree. Norway captain. Real Madrid paid a lot of money for him. Did really well when he was out on loan in Spain at Sociedad, I think it was last season. His assist record in La Liga was really good. But yeah, Arsenal he may have found his team in Arsenal, and he's definitely one to keep an eye on. 6 million FPL. I think if there wasn't Saka and Smith Rowe for less, we would perhaps be talking about Odegaard, but there's just better options that are perhaps cheaper.
He's known as the Oslo De Bruyne. Do I know that?
Love that. I think that's fair. He's more De Bruyne than Smith Rowe, I'd say.
He certainly has the potential to be. Yeah.
There's Major League Soccer saying he needs a haul from Shaw now. Yeah, those that don't own Shaw, myself included, well, we're really hoping for a Shaw blank then, because that could really hurt overall rank. And of course, Cresswell's really highly owned in that fixture, West Ham United. So guys, closing thoughts from you. Let's have a positive one for next week. Top tip next week. It can be a team, it can be a captaincy shout, it can be a player. One thing to leave our viewers with ahead of the blank game week 29. Rich, I'll come to you first.
Yeah, mine might be quite sensible, really. I think because you mentioned that we got these Europa League games on Thursday, and obviously the deadline's on Friday. So I just think we just got to wait until Friday. I think it's Friday late afternoon, isn't it, the deadline? So 6:30 UK time. I think just basically mine's boring, and it's just wait until Friday, because so much can change. There's so many like niggles that we don't know about yet, and I just hope we get information.
Yeah, and it is a Friday deadline, Rich, as well. But it'll be a Friday deadline at 6:30, so we'll get all those juicy bits of info hopefully. Yeah.
No, I'm sure we will. Just with obviously those games on Thursday as well. It's quite a quick turnaround, really, isn't it? When you got a Friday game.
And Rich, where can we find you? Because you're presenter of a very well-known and popular FPL podcast.
Yeah, I inherited taking it as in taking it over. But yeah, it's FPL Surgery. So you can just search there on wherever you listen to your podcast, really. FPL Surgery. At FPL Surgery on Twitter, and we're recording tomorrow night.
Good stuff.
I think
some juicy bits ahead of the blank. And Ted, closing thoughts from you in terms of next week. One headline for you.
So I think because Spurs and City both blank in 33, I think a really useful move, if you have the choice to take a hit for a Brighton defender, because they have Newcastle in 29 and Sheffield United in 33, and you can place them on the bench for all of the other games. I think it is really worth a hit for maybe a double up, because I think they've got a really good chance of a clean sheet in both of those games when you've got key players blanking and that you don't necessarily want to transfer out. So that would be my top tip. It's something that I'm looking at, and I think it will reap the dividends.
Yeah, my tip is don't go too crazy for hits on players that you're not confident that you want long term. So definitely go for the hits if you need to on long term punts, as Ted says. Your Brighton defenders, for example, you want them in 33 and you want them to on your bench. But if you're looking really short term, don't be completely fixed on getting 11 out. There will be loads of managers that get 6, 7, 8 players out. So don't worry too much if you're slightly behind. Ted, I forgot to come to you with where we can see more of your content.
Yeah, most of my stuff is the charts that I produce is on Twitter, so you can come follow me at TED Talks FPL. Also do YouTube videos on YouTube, and I also do a bit of stuff for Fantasy Football Scout as well. So hopefully you can check out my stuff when it comes around. So yeah.
I absolutely love those charts, and they have caused me many a transfer including Trossard earlier in the season, I think.
Those charts are brilliant.
They really are.
Yeah, they're just so clear. Like I do try it. I cherry pick stuff. Like if I don't want to believe something, I'll ignore certain bits of it. Okay.
The confirmation bias. Yeah.
I don't want to be believing that Bruno's good. So I just.
I've seen some of those charts pop up on the Fantasy Football Scout Instagram channel as well, which is really cool, and some of those sort of short 60-second videos. So do check out Scout on, of course, Twitter and YouTube. Please like and subscribe and comment on our vids. If you don't subscribe, obviously, but also check them out on Instagram as well. And of course, Scoutcast Match Day is every weekend or every game week. We pick one match, so set your notifications to get those alarm bells ahead of next week. Not sure what fixture we're doing in game week 29. Probably Villa Spurs. But yeah, look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you all for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next week. See you guys.
Bye.
Yep.